Welcome to the 1988 Texas State High School football playoffs. This Class 2A quarterfinal game between the Eastland Mavericks and the Quanah Indians is brought to you by the following sponsors: the Eastland Maverick Quarterback Club, Eva Iron, Caldwell Motors, Eastland National Bank, Hood King Ford, Buddy Aaron Insurance, Images Hair Designs, Farm Bureau Insurance, Monograms by Share, Eastland Drug, Rossander Insurance, Cheney Gas Company, Moore Fuel Company, R.M. Sneed Construction, Higginbotham Bartlett Company, Jim Moyland Construction, Scott Paint and Body, Thrift Mart Supermarket, the Stephen Company, Mangum's Parts Plus, and the Eastland High School chapter of the Future Farmers of America. Hi, everybody. I'm David Bacon, along with Tommy Humphrey this evening from P.E. Shotwell Stadium, where we're getting set for the state playoff game between the Eastland Mavericks and the Quanah Indians. This is a Class 2A quarterfinal matchup. Joining us along the sideline before the kickoff of tonight's ball game, the head coach of the Mavericks, Ron Sanderson. Ron, your defense has played so well the last three games, giving up only 12 points.
Well, they have. They played well the last three games. They played well ever since about the fifth game of the season. We shut down most of the teams in our district pretty well. You know, we only gave up 2 touchdowns to 2 teams, and we played real well in the playoffs. We're real pleased with the way they've been doing.
And your defense last week was so instrumental in setting up 10 early points in the victory over West Texas High School.
Right. You know, we forced a pass interception and a fumble recovery and got us 10 quick points. Then our defense did a good job when it had to, down close to the goal line 3 different times, and it came through when they needed to.
17-0 victory gets you to this ball game tonight. Tommy?
Coach, we've talked a lot about your players, Rattan, and comes to mind, Gosnell and Clark and Arms, and somebody we haven't mentioned very much, but he's a very key part of your team is your quarterback, Philip Montgomery. And tell us a little bit about Montgomery. I know I've talked with David, and we've visited about it, that Philip could play on any level, any 5A, 4A, 3A, or on down, and he executes and he throws the ball well, and the kids catch his passes. Tell us a little bit about Philip Montgomery.
Philip's a real good kid, real good person, good athlete. He starts for us in basketball, I think, last year as a sophomore, started football last year as a sophomore. He's passed for about 1,600 yards this year and had been throwing above 60% most of the year. And now the last couple of weeks he's had a little real problem, but he's back full 100% right now, and we're looking for good things out of him tonight.
Another junior on your team, Coach?
Yeah, thank goodness he's just a junior too.
You are really stockpiled with talent coming back next year. You've got to be coming back next year rated in at least the top 2 or 3 in the state.
Are you trying to get my job or what? But we're looking forward to next year after this year's over.
I know you've just this game and 2 more, and you could be looking at a state championship. What are the keys to beating this fine Quanah ball team?
We have to shut down their running game. They have a real strong tailback in Setrick Dickens and a good passer. Their quarterback, real good kid, good receivers. We feel like we have to control the football offensively and not make big mistakes on defense.
Okay, good luck tonight against the Quanah Indians. We'll be back with the kickoff in just a moment. Football 88 will continue on KTAB.
EBA Iron is an innovative manufacturer of joint restraint systems for the water and wastewater industry. EBA's leading products are the patented Megalug and FlexTend, systems designed to restrain and protect pipelines from unexpected motion.
EBA Iron, helping build a stronger community. You know the Metroplex, but for quality at affordable prices, shop the Microplex, Eastland County.
If you're tired of overpriced cars and want a fair deal, come to Caldwell Motor Company in Eastland. Caldwell Motor Company can sell you a truck or car for less, simply because their overhead is lower, and the selection is great. They're the authorized dealer for Oldsmobile, Pontiac, Buick, GMC, and Cadillac. Shop and save at Caldwell Motor Company.
Shop the Microplex, Eastland County.
Eastland National Bank, a full-service friendly bank, is proud to be a part of the growth of Eastland. The Eastland National Bank is behind the red and black Eastland Mavericks in the 1988 high school playoffs. Eastland National Bank and the people of Eastland are proud of the Mavericks for another playoff appearance. So go get 'em, Mavs. For a full-service, friendly hometown bank, think of Eastland National Bank, where you're always greeted with a smile. Banking like it should be, friendly. At Eastland National Bank, member FDIC. Hood King Ford Mercury in Eastland wants to know, have you driven a Ford lately? Well, if you haven't, come see the new 1989 Ford and Mercurys that have just arrived. You'll find additional saving at Hood King as we celebrate 50 years as Eastland County's Ford and Mercury dealer. Hood King has in stock the exciting Tempo, Taurus, and versatile Aerostar vans, and Texas' favorite, the tough Ford pickups. See Hood King for quality selection of used cars, too. For personal service, it's Hood King Ford in Eastland, celebrating 50 years of service.
Welcome back to P.E. Shotwell Stadium, where tonight is the Eastland Mavericks versus the Quanah Indians in the Class 2A quarterfinals as the Eastland Mavericks come onto the field as we're just about set for the kickoff of this ball game. Tommy, you know, the last couple of weeks we've had the opportunity to follow these Eastland Mavericks, and I tell you what, I don't think I could be more impressed with the community support that this team has for its Maverick football team.
David, it's incredible, really, you know, when you think about the youngsters on this football team. I'd say 60% of this squad is juniors, and look at the future they got ahead of them. And you're right that the fans and the whole town are behind them 100%, and they're very excited about the opportunity to be on television for the third time.
That's right, and over on the far side of the field, the Quanah Indians are making their entrance onto the playing turf of P.E. Shotwell Stadium. This is the third week in a row that Quanah has played here. They have won 25-21 over Idalou for the area championship. Then last week, Quanah beat De Leon 24-22. The Eastland Mavericks have won ball games here at P.E. Shotwell Stadium, of course, over Anson 40-6, and then 2 weeks ago over the Stanton Buffaloes 20-6. So these are two teams that indeed like to play here at P.E. Shotwell Stadium. One reason why, Tommy, has got to be the playing condition. This field has seen 32 football games so far this year, and still, even though it is worn down in a few spots, it's still in really good condition for being this late in the season.
It sure is, David, and the key to that is the fact that due to our drought conditions, it hadn't had any rain and occur the same time they've had a football game. Back the first of the year, there was a little bit of rain, but it didn't hurt the field. All the credit in the world goes to the staff at the Abilene Independent School District that manages and takes care of this field.
Also, a lot of credit going to the AISD folks as well as other members of the area Abilene community who've been able to work so hard in attracting so many state playoff games. I think this is like the 6th playoff game that has been here at P.E. Shotwell Stadium.
David, last week Eastland went and played
West Texas High School up at Childress and won that ball game 17-0.
They obviously didn't need our support last week. They beat them. They shut them out, and they'd only allowed 12 points going into that game. So 12 points in the state playoffs is not a bad record.
No, it's not. And here we've got the meeting of the captains in the middle of the field, and we've got the referee mic'd up. So let's see if we can go down to the field, pick up the meeting of the captains. Quanah coming into this ball game with a record of 10-2. Eastland with a record of 10-2-1 as they're about ready to meet the Quanah Indians in the Class 2A quarterfinals.
Please, gentlemen. Okay, let's move in a little closer so I don't have to holler at you. You're going to call the call. Gentlemen, it's a silver dollar. Heads, tails, call it while it's in there. If I drop it, we'll flip it again, call it. Heads. He calls heads. It is tails. You may kick, receive, defend the goal, or defer to the second half. You want to receive. Turn around this way. Black has won the toss. Elected to receive. Let's get them on the field. Let's play.
All right. Tommy, why don't you give us that starting offensive lineup for the Eastland Mavericks that will be taking the field first in our ball game tonight.
David, that very good offensive line for Eastland. The left tackle is Jeff Bird, left guard Brian Orms, center is Terry Jones, right guard Jay Clark, Eric Farmer's the right tackle. Wide receivers Benji Adamez, Joe Williamson's the tight end, Philip Montgomery the quarterback, Tracy Messenger running back, Raiford Rattan running back, and wide receivers Richard High.
Defensively for the Quanah Indians, they run a 5-man defensive front. Their left end will be Craig Brinkerhoff, left tackle J.B. Duncan, nose guard will be Antoine Williams, right tackle will be Trenton Boyd, right end will be Craig Horton. The linebackers will be Isabel Sanchez and Chris Ross. The corners will be Setrick Dickens and Jim Muncrief. The safeties will be Jeff Knight and Chris Milliken. And there you got to look at some of the fans who are here tonight driving over from Eastland to watch our ball game at Shotwell Stadium. Back deep to receive the opening kickoff for Eastland, Raiford Rattan. And what a playoff season Raiford Rattan has been having. He has scored 8 touchdowns for Eastland in the last 3 weeks.
He's amazing, David. Of course, he comes from a long line of Eastland Mavericks. His brothers, one of his brothers is playing at Texas Tech right now, quarterback, Jason Rattan. And he's just another long line of Rattans that getting the job done.
Raiford Rattan, number 2, right there in your picture. He'll be set to receive the kickoff from Trenton Boyd from the Quanah Indians. Eastland coach Ron Sanderson told me earlier this week on Quanah that the Indians run out of an I formation. They've got lots of power. Defensively, as we were saying, Quanah employs a 5-man front. Sanderson feels the Mavericks can throw against the Indians, which would mean that Philip Montgomery, hopefully if he's recovered well enough from his rib injury, he might be able to play a very big role in this ball game tonight against these Quanah Indians.
I'll tell you something Quanah has not run up against, David, is the size of the team like Eastland with Clark and Arms and Petrie and Gosnell. I mean, these kids are huge by any
There you heard the opening whistle. And we're underway with tonight's ball game. Kickoff is going to be fielded by Chris Vernon, and he's got the return out to about the 17-yard line. Chris Vernon, and he's tackled by Jim Moncrief for the Quanah Indians. First down and 10 for the Eastland Mavericks at about their own 17-yard line. The wind has sprung up a little bit, Tommy. It looks like it's out of the southwest at about 10 to 15 miles per hour, but not quite the factor that we've seen it in some ball games here at this stadium.
It's just a perfect night for football, David.
Philip Montgomery, number 14, is in at quarterback. Messenger, the fullback, Rattan, the tailback. Montgomery throws, and it's going to be complete to Adamez. And he's got the first down to about the 33-yard line of the Eastland Mavericks. Benji Adamez with the catch, brought down by Isabel Sanchez for the Quanah Indians. And it is a first down for Eastland.
Throwing on first down, David, that's exactly what Coach Sanderson said they were going to do. They were going to try to exploit the pass against the Quanah Indians. And what better way to get their eyes open and get maybe open up some running attack by throwing on first down and getting their attention.
Checking into the ball game, John Morris, number 33. He'll be the tight end on the left side, coming out wide to the right side. Richard High, hand off, Rattan, and he gets back up to the line of scrimmage, falls forward to about the 34-yard line, brought down by J.B. Duncan for the Quanah Indians. Brings up a second down and long situation now for Eastland at their own 34-yard line as Adamez checks back into the ball game.
J.B. Duncan is the biggest defensive lineman for Quanah, 6'2", 220-pound senior, David.
Second down and 9, 11:05 left to go, opening period of our ball game. First possession. Montgomery throws, it's complete to his tight end, Williamson, out to the 45-yard line. With the tackle, Chris Milligan. Joe Williamson, who came into this ball game with 23 catches for the season for more than 500 yards, picks up the first down for the Eastland Mavericks.
David, that's usually a pass play that is run when they've got a blitz going. The linebackers come, the tight end sneaks back over the middle, and he hollers, hot, hot, hot. That looked like a play called in the huddle that time. Excellent execution by Williamson to be open and catch the football.
Back-to-back first downs now for the Eastland Mavericks. Morris goes out wide to the right side, out wide to the left. We've got Richard High. Messenger now switches over to the right side, and we've got flags down on the play to hold everything. It looked like the right side of the Eastland line might have been a little over-anxious there, and we've got our first penalty in the ball game.
I think it was Jeff Bird or Eric Palmer jumped off sides on that play.
That stops the clock with 10:32 left to go in our first quarter. And let's see if we can pick up the signal from the ref.
Have a done ball. False start on the offense.
This refereeing crew is from Lubbock. And they call a 5-yard penalty against the Eastland Mavericks. Makes it 1st and 15 now for the Mavs back at their own 40-yard line.
David, in the first game against Anson, remember Montgomery had a superb game passing the football in a terrible wind conditions.
Then he had the rib problem that really sort of hurt him the last 2 weeks, although he did have a 78-yard touchdown run last week against West Texas High. Montgomery throws again, intended for Rattan, and it's incomplete. Coverage by Chris Milliken for the Quanah Indians makes it 2nd and 15 for Eastland at their own 40-yard line.
Montgomery's got happy feet that time. He showing good movement in the pocket. He steps up. He was started to get, looks like he was getting underway to try to run and saw the opening and got the ball just a little too quick to the receiver.
Coach Jim Wood of Quanah told me earlier this week about these Eastland Mavericks that he feels that his club has got to slow down Rattan. He said we can't stop him. All we can hope to do is slow him down. And like you were saying, another fear that he had was that big Eastland line. 2nd and 15. Rattan, the ball carrier, he's wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. With the tackle for the Quanah Indians is going to be Craig Brinkerhoff, a 185-pound sophomore, and that will bring up a 3rd and about 17 situation now for the Eastland Mavericks back at their own 38-yard line.
Maybe the offsides penalty has obviously hurt the Eastland Mavericks that time with the pass incompletion, and in that play it just took a little long to develop, and like you said, Brinkerhoff was there with a good play.
9:40 left to go, first quarter, scoreless ball game. 3rd and 17 for the Eastland Mavericks. Montgomery to throw. Across the middle, and they're going to rule incomplete. The intended receiver just inside the Quanah half of the 50-yard line was Benji Adamez. Jim Moncrief with the defensive coverage for the Quanah Indians.
Good pass protection that time. Just a little bit more time possibly. He threw the ball in a hurry. Whoops, got a penalty down there.
Looks like we've got a flag down on the field, and let's see if we can pick up the signal from the referee.
We have holding by the defense prior to the pass being thrown. Automatic first down.
Well, the penalty comes back to hurt the Quanah Indians.
Big break, David.
The drive is alive for the Eastland Mavericks at their own 48-yard line. Like you're saying, Tommy, big break to keep the drive going.
Got a fresh 4.
3rd first down of this first quarter now for the Eastland Mavericks as Morris checks back into the ball game with the play from Coach Ron Sanderson along the near sideline. Man in motion is Richard High. Hand off to Messenger, and he's down to about the 46-yard line, but we've got a flag down on the field. So hold everything. Chris Brinkerhoff with the tackle, and let's see if we can pick up the preliminary indication from the official.
We have an illegal motion on the offense.
So bring the good gain by Tracy Messenger back. Had the opportunity to meet Tracy's mom before the ball game, and she's one of the many folks in Eastland, Texas, watching these broadcasts on KTAB on Saturday night.
David, you talk about meeting somebody.
We have an illegal motion on the offense. Be first down.
Reunion of sort before the ball game down there by the truck. Remember Charles Orms, Brian Orms' dad came down. Charles and I were freshmen together at Abilene Christian, and I haven't seen him since my freshman and sophomore year, and it was sure good to see Charlie again. And some things never change. He's just got a few more gray hairs.
And his son is a fine football player on that offensive line for the Eastland Mavericks. 1st and 15, they go to Messenger again. 45, 40, and he's going to be brought down inside the 35-yard line of the Quanah Indians. With the tackle, Brinkerhoff again, but not before it is the first down for Eastland at the 33-yard line.
Great utilization that time by Tracy Messenger, reading his blocks and taking advantage of those blocks, shielding this great shielding blocks. No, everything was perfect. Great run, big first down.
And let's talk about how active a ball game defensively already for Craig Brinkerhoff from his left defensive end position for these Quanah Indians. Rattan, the ball carrier, and he's down in the vicinity of the 30-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 7 for Eastland when they scrimmage again. With the tackle, Brinkerhoff one more time, number 80, 185-pound sophomore.
David, when they put Brian Orms and Jay Clark on the same side of the ball, and they are doing it quite often, they're flip-flopping the lines. Now they've got Orms and Clark on the left side. Look for something to happen over there. That's some beef in front of the ball carrier.
Jones in at center as the pitchback goes to Rattan. 25, 20, and he's going to be down inside the 20-yard line of the Quanah Indians. And boy, Eastland's offensive line doing a great job. Jeff Knight with the tackle eventually, but not before it is another first down for the Eastland Mavericks.
Jay Clark and Brian Arms over there on that left side, David. Big gain, big hole over there, big sweep play by Rattan, and he picks up another big first down.
5 first downs in this opening drive now for the Eastland Mavericks. 8:05 left to go, first quarter. Eastland with a first down and 10 and a penetration. Remember that at the 18-yard line of the Quanah Indians. Rattan one more time, and he's going to get down to about the 16-yard line. Brought down by Trenton Boyd. Rattan having rushed for more than 1,700 yards this season for the Eastland Mavericks. He has scored 26 touchdowns.
On that previous play, Brian Arms did a great job of pulling and getting out in front of Rattan and opening a big hole out there. And Rattan, once you give him just a little bit of daylight, he's hard to handle.
Pickup of 2 on that last carry. Second down and 8 for Eastland at the 16-yard line. And now we've got whistles before the play, so hold everything. Clock is stopped with 7:21 left to go, first quarter here at Shotwell Stadium. And let's see if we can pick up the indication from the official.
Very simple. We got a dead ball. False start, number 50 on the deep offense.
It's the center.
Terry Jones, the guilty party, but so far in this drive, Tommy, 5-yard penalties have not hurt the Eastland Mavericks. I think that's their 3rd penalty in this ball game, and here they are down to about the 21.5-yard line.
Mavericks have also used, David, about nearly 5 minutes of the first quarter.
And they would be moving into the breeze, taking the wind advantage away from these Quanah Indians. Montgomery, play-action pass. It's going to be complete. With the reception, it is going to be Joe Williamson down to about the 6-yard line of Quanah. He's ridden down by Setrick Dickens from his cornerback position, but not before. It's another first down for the Eastland Mavericks. Their 6th first down on this drive.
Just a great job by the quarterback that time to look the other way and look off his receiver, throw back over to the tight end coming across the field, David, and just a great play.
Excellent play-action fake by the quarterback, Montgomery. Hand off, Rattan. Rattan scores! Chris Milliken was the last one who had a chance to stop Rattan, but he's able to blast over for his 9th touchdown of the state playoffs.
David, they were looking at having to punt the football until that defensive holding call against Quanah that really hurt them. And Eastland just marched it right down the field. Great execution on that drive. Penalties didn't seem to bother.
3 penalties against Eastland, but it was the big penalty against Quanah that helped the Mavs get down the field and score on this one. Try for the extra point by Williamson is going to be good. For Rattan, that was his 9th touchdown of the playoffs, his 27th touchdown of the season. The new score in the ball game, Eastland 7, Quanah nothing. Football 88 will continue in a moment on KTAB.
Let the Buddy Aaron team be the winning team for your life insurance needs. Trust the professionals in Eastland's most progressive insurance agency. The friendly staff at Buddy Aaron offer complete insurance services from life, health, home, and auto. Buddy Aaron also offers 20 years experience as an independent agent and as a representative of E.F. Hutton Life. Put the winning team to work for you and call the man with a plan. Call the Buddy Aaron Insurance Agency for your complete insurance needs.
If you look good, you'll feel great. And you can find that great feeling at Images Hair Design in Eastland. Let the friendly folks at Images help you look and feel great with a design from Images. And step next door and look sharp with a monogrammed shirt or cap from Monograms by Cher. Monograms by Cher offers custom lettering and embroidery. So look good and feel great after stopping in at Images Hair Designs and Monograms by Cher, Highway 80 East in Eastland.
For almost 40 years, Cheney Gas Company has served Eastland and surrounding counties. Cheney Gas Company offers fast, dependable service with their radio-equipped trucks for their customers. Cheney Gas Company will provide you with propane for your home, vehicles, or your barbecue tank. Come by Cheney Gas Company, 708 West Main, and visit. The coffee's always on, and always a friendly greeting at Cheney Gas Company in Eastland, where your support is appreciated for a great year in 1988.
You don't have to be a farmer to be able to enjoy the personal service you can get from Jim Kennedy and Farm Bureau Insurance. Jim Kennedy and Farm Bureau Insurance offer you one of the top 10 insurance companies for coverage, and you'll like the Farm Bureau kind of service you receive when you give them a call. So put the Farm Bureau Insurance team to work for your home, life, auto, or even farm insurance needs. Call today. You'll love the personalized service you'll receive from Farm Bureau Insurance, Eastland.
There's Raiford Rattan, who just scored the touchdown. That was the final play of an 11-play, 83-yard drive that ate up 5 minutes and 15 seconds of our opening quarter. During that drive, Philip Montgomery, the 5'10", 160-pound junior at quarterback, was 3 of 4 for 41 yards.
David, offensively for the Quanah Indians in this next drive, at left tackle will be Dean Eggers. Trenton Boyd will be the left guard. Jim Muncrief will be the center. Right guard will be Junior Leal. And Greg Murgison will be the right tackle. Greg Brinkerhoff will be the wide receiver. Jason Swindle will be the tight end. Quarterback Jeff Knight. Isabel Sanchez, running back. Setrick Dickens is the running back. And Anthony Williams is the running back. Wide receiver.
Here's the kickoff. It's going to be taken by Dickens. Across the 15, across the 20, still on his feet at the 35. Finally is going to be dragged down at the 44-yard line by the kicker, Joe Williamson.
Tell us about Setrick Dickens, David. He's having a tremendous year.
Eye-popping figures, 2,309 yards of rushing. He has scored 38 touchdowns, 34 of those rushing. The defense that will be trying to stop him includes Joe Williamson at left defensive end, Ricky Petrie at left tackle, Chad Gosnell, the Goz at right tackle, right defensive end, Brian Orms. The linebackers, Tracy Messenger, Brent Sanderson, Jeff Bird. We'll pick up the rest of the defense for you in just a moment. First down and 10 for Quanah at their own 44-yard line. Handoff goes to Sanchez. He's going to be tripped up by Sanderson as he falls forward to about the 49-yard line. The rest of the defense at Rover, Raiford Rattan. Safety is going to be Philip Montgomery. And the cornerbacks are going to be Benji Adamez and John Morris for the Eastland Mavericks.
The Quanah Indians have good size on their offensive line, too. 210-pound, 196-pound, 180-pound, and 210-pound junior out there at right tackle.
Well, we just got through talking about Dickens so much, so they hand off to the fullback and pick up 5 yards on their first play from scrimmage. Now they go to Dickens, and he's going to be close for first down yardage. He's tackled by Williamson, also there Brent Sanderson, but not before he apparently has a first down for the Quanah Indians inside the 45 of the Eastland Mavericks.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do to Chad Gosnell, David, to take away his effectiveness at just his quickness, because, like I told you before in one of the other games, that he is a prime candidate to be trapped. He's so quick across the line, and you can really take advantage of him in some situations.
First down and 10 for Quanah, just inside the 45 of the Eastland Mavericks. The Indians on the move, hand off to Sanchez. He picks up 2 or 3 yards as he falls forward to about the 42-yard line, tripped up by Jay Clark. Coming into this ball game, Sanchez, 10 carries for 24 yards last week, and Quanah's victory over the De Leon Bearcats here at Shotwell Stadium.
That time, Gosnell almost there to make the tackle on the running back and the quarterback at the same time. Another display of his quickness.
Well, he does have a size advantage over the interior of the line for Quanah, 196er and a 180-pounder at the guard positions and a 160-pound center. Handoff, Sanchez, he's wrapped up by Messenger behind the line of scrimmage.
Super play by Messenger, that time just blitzing through there and made the tackle right shortly after the handoff was made.
Tracy Messenger starting at left linebacker for Dylan Schleppe. Schleppe out of action because of mononucleosis.
Of all things.
Brings up a 3rd and 11 now for Quanah at the 46 of the Eastland Mavericks with 4:35 left to go, opening quarter. Eastland already on the board, leading 7-0. Quarterback back to throw, in trouble, sack behind the line of scrimmage.
Williamson there, he hurt the quarterback too. I think the quarterback hurt his leg, or I hope he didn't hurt himself bad.
Jeff Knight back up, number 10, the quarterback for the Quanah Indians, and he's going to be sacked back at about the 47-yard line of Quanah. That's going to be about an 8-yard loss there, and now Quanah will have to punt the ball away.
Great outside leverage that time by Williamson. Gosnell had good pressure up the middle. There was no place to go, and a great sack.
Anthony Williams is the punter for these Quanah Indians. Back deep, we've got Rattan along with Montgomery. Rattan at the 12-yard line. Cuts
wall,
at the 15.
got a wall.
Okay, look out. He's going to be brought down to the 31-yard line with the tackle for Quanah, Antoine Williams. That was a 40-yard punt just then for Quanah. First down and 10 for Eastland, leading our ball game 7-0 with 3:39 left to go here in the opening period.
We on our offensive line chart, we're showing that Jay Clark is playing guard, and so is Brian Arms. Well, Jay Clark is playing tackle, and Brian Arms is playing guard, and they're playing on the same side. So that's their power side, and their finesse side is on the other side with Farmer and Bird.
Montgomery is in at quarterback. He was 3 of 4 in the opening drive for 41 yards. Handoff goes to Rattan. Picks up a couple of yards. In the backfield, we've got Poppy Escobedo as the tackle is made by Isabel Sanchez. Escobedo, number 42, in at that fullback position, giving Tracy Messenger some rest here on this drive for the Eastland Mavs.
Poppy Escobedo, another junior, David, and he has shown us a lot in the week before last in the game against Stanton. What a great game he had.
He really did. He played very well on that victory over the Buffaloes here at Shotwell. Pickup of not quite 2 yards. Second down and long now for Eastland. And they give the ball to Escobedo, and the big fullback blasts his way out to about the 40-yard line. He is going to pick up about 8 yards on that carry before he's brought down by Craig Brinkerhoff. So it'll bring up a 3rd and about 2 situation now for these Eastland Mavericks.
They better wrap up Escobedo because he is not going to stop. He's going to give it everything he has.
2:38 left to go, first quarter. Escobedo in at fullback, leads the blocking for Rattan, and I don't think Rattan has got the first down. Brought down by J.B. Duncan, a 220-pound senior for the Quanah Indians. Also there, Isabel Sanchez from his linebacker position for Quanah.
It's a good job at that time by the Quanah defense just to kind of pinch that play, David. They knew it was kind of a short yardage situation and shut the hole off.
4th down as it appears, but now we're going to have an official timeout for measurement, stopping the clock with 2:12 left to go first quarter. Eastland leading this ball game thanks to a 6-yard touchdown run by Raiford Rattan to cap an 11-play, 83-yard drive. Time of possession 5:15 on that opening drive for the Mavs as they lead 7-0 after the PAT was successful by Joe Williamson. And it's going to be about 2 feet shy. 2 feet shy of what they need for the first down. Of course, the punter is Joe Williamson. Checking in, we've got Morris. And Philip Montgomery stays in the ball game at quarterback for the Eastland Mavericks.
Showing a lot of faith in Arms and Clark. I'm telling you right now, that is a powerful combination to have on one side of the ball.
With 2:12 left to go in the first quarter, this is a big play. You hate to say that this early in the ball game, but this would be a big momentum builder for Eastland if they're able to convert. In the meantime, if they're not able to, Quanah will come out of this with great field position. No flags down. Long count by Montgomery. Still counting. Looks like they're trying to draw Quanah offside.
That's the old steady in the saddle play, David.
And that's exactly what Eastland was trying to do, was draw Quanah offsides. But the Indian defensive unit doesn't take the bait.
We have a dead ball.
All the center has to do when they do jump offside is snap the ball to the quarterback and they'll throw the flag.
Well, he had a couple of opportunities there.
3 opportunities.
So Eastland will now punt. But
there's nobody back to receive.
Quanah's got nobody back to receive. Here's the kick by Williamson. And it's going to be killed by Eastland in the vicinity of the Quanah 30-yard line. Nobody was back deep. Terry Jones downfield to kill it for Eastland. A 34-yard punt just then for Joe Williamson. So the Indians get the ball back at their own 31-yard line.
The only thing I could think of was that they had a block on and didn't care to have anybody back there to field the punt. But I'm sure a Setrick Evans with that kind of talent, you'd like to have him back there handling the football.
Well, he was back deep originally, but then they brought him up to the line of scrimmage, maybe with the block on. Minute 28 left to go, opening quarter of play at Shotwell Stadium. Eastland leading the Quanah Indians by a score of 7-0. Glad you could join us for the state playoffs tonight here on KTAB. David Bacon along with Tommy Humphrey. Pitch back goes to Dickens, and he is going to be tripped up with the tackle over on the far side of the field for the Eastland Mavericks. Jeff Bird, 5'10", 175-pound senior, makes the shoestring tackle of Dickens at about the 34-yard line.
Jeff Bird, one of the many players on the Eastland team going both ways. He's an offensive tackle on offense.
Let me tell you a story about Jeff Bird. He's also a member of the FFA of Eastland. That school body, that student section of the FFA, bought advertising to make this broadcast possible tonight.
That's great.
So Eastland supports its Mavericks. Hand off Dickens. He's across the 35 to about the 37-yard line, wrapped up right there by Ricky Petrie with the tackle as Dickens gets about a 2-yard gain. It will be 3rd and about 4 when we scrimmage again.
With all the heroics of Chad Gosnell, Coach Sanderson says Ricky Petrie has played about as well as anybody on his defensive line.
Well, Gosnell is a slow starter. Look out for him in the second half.
Oh, man, I feel sorry for the guy like him. He's already looking good, David. Wait till the second quarter and in the second half.
3rd and 4 for Quanah at their own 37-yard line. Their quarterback is Jeff Knight. Play action. Knight throws, and it's intercepted by Raiford Rattan. Rattan is going to be brought down at the 40-yard line. Raiford Rattan, who had a big interception last week, is going to be tackled by Junior Leal for the Quanah Indians. Raiford Rattan had a first-quarter interception that set up an early field goal last week for the Mavericks versus West Texas High, and Raiford Rattan comes up with another big pickoff here with the end of the second quarter. So that is the end of our first quarter of play here at P.E. Shotwell Stadium with the score, the Eastland Mavericks 7, the Quanah Indians nothing. Football 88 will continue in a moment on KTAB.
Eastland Drug can meet your prescription needs, and they offer you 24-hour delivery service. Stop in and enjoy a cool drink at their old-fashioned soda fountain, and while you're there, browse through their selection of cards, cosmetics, and fragrances. And don't forget the Gold Lantern with bridal registry and an excellent gift selection for birthdays and anniversaries or just because. The Gold Lantern carries dinnerware, stainless and silver plate flatware, and lead crystal gift items. Eastland Drug and the Gold Lantern, a must for shopping in Eastland.
With over 20 years of experience, you know you can trust Rossander Insurance for all of your needs. West Texas has grown to respect Richard Rossander and the Rossander Agency for auto, home, life, health, commercial, along with specializing in petrochemical insurance. Another fine professional you can depend on is Barbara Rossander, also qualified and experienced to serve you, your family, or your company's needs. Stop by and see for yourself the Rossander Insurance Agency in Eastland.
Moore Fuel Company in Eastland is your distributor for Gulf Chevron lubricants and fuel. Call Moore Fuel for bulk gasoline sales, bulk diesel sales, or oil in the quart, gallon, or 55-gallon drum. Moore Fuel Company also will serve your needs through your neighborhood Gulf Chevron service stations or the Moore's own station at 501 Main in Eastland. For top-quality Gulf Chevron products, don't settle for less. Call Moore Fuel Company at 629-2884. Moore Fuel Company in Eastland. If you want to see the best football played in Texas, go to Eastland Maverick Stadium next door to the offices of R.M. Snead General Contractor. And if you're wanting to know who will do you the best jobs, see Howard Maynard. Whatever type of pipeline you need, Snead's construction crews will show you how they've earned the reputation as one of Texas' best. Since 1948, R.M. Snead General Contractor has done general oil field construction and steel or polyethylene pipe placement. Go with a winner. Go with R.M. Snead General Contractor next to Maverick Stadium in Eastland.
There you look at one of the Eastland injured players along the sideline. One of the few they've got who's been injured. As a matter of fact, I was talking to the coach before the ball game. The lack of injuries really one of the big keys this year. That was David Henley you just saw there, number 34. But the fact that Eastland has remained relatively injury-free so far this season, one of the big reasons for their success, Tommy.
You know, David, when you've only got this, there's Gosnell, the God. He's pumped.
Yes, sir.
you've got, with the number of players that they've got available to play, you've got to have very few injuries to get it and progress as far as they have in the state football tournament.
First down and 10 following the interception. Montgomery with the wind at his back to start the second quarter, throws downfield, and it's almost intercepted.
Adamez playing great defensive back that time.
Covering him downfield, Jim Moncrief. Moncrief, an interesting story. He plays cornerback on defense for Quanah, and he's the starting center on offense.
Strength and quickness.
Second down and 10 for Eastland. And remember, here in the second quarter, Philip Montgomery will have what wind there is at his back. A lazy wind, we'd say, out of the south at about 10 miles per hour as we start our second quarter of play. Messenger goes to a wingback position. Handoff goes to Raiford Rattan. He goes nowhere. Tackled by Trenton Boyd, number 65, with the tackle for the Quanah Indians. It'll be 3rd and 9 now for Eastland at the 39 of the Indians.
It looked like Trenton Boyd was on a slant that time and just happened to slant right into the footpaths of Raiford Rattan.
Adamez checks in with the play from Coach Ron Sanderson along the near sideline. Coaching the Quanah Indians over on the far side of the field, Jim Wood. Wood in his 10th year of coaching the Indians. Rattan. And he's going to go down to about the 35-yard line before he's brought down by the Quanah Indians. Brinkerhoff over there along with Setrick Dickens for the Quanah Indians. Will bring up a 4th and 5 now for Eastland at the 35-yard line of Quanah with a little under 11 minutes left to go here in our second quarter of play.
Raiford Rattan is such a good running back. He sets up his blockers so well, and he gives them the outside, and he goes inside. It makes it so easy for a blocker out there because all he's got to do is go one direction, and he does the rest.
Eastland Mavericks are going to go for it on 4th down and just over 5 needed for the first at the 35-yard line of Quanah. Montgomery in at quarterback. Handoff Rattan. I don't think he's going to get it. The Quanah Indians stiffen on defense. Craig Brinkerhoff there for Quanah, and the ball goes over to the Indians at about their own 32-yard line. Also, Isabel Sanchez, number 44, part of the big defensive surge that denies Rattan the first down try.
That's not too bad. They're still about the 32-yard line, and that's, they could have punted it down there and kicked it into the end zone, and it would just still have been a 12-yard difference in what would have happened.
10:29 left to go, second quarter. Eastland still leading our ball game by a score of 7-0 over the Quanah Indians. Quanah coming into this ball game with 10 victories and a dozen ball games. Eastland 10-2-1. Dickens, the ball carrier, and he's going to be brought down at about the 40-yard line. Gain of 8 on that carry before he's brought down by Brian Orms. Orms with the tackle, 6'5", 210-pound junior for these Eastland Mavericks.
He can look his daddy right in the eye.
And his father is no small guy either.
You better believe it.
Montgomery checks back into the ball game defensively now for the Eastland Mavericks. Coming out is Messenger. 4 down linemen for the Mavs on 2nd down and 2 for the Quanah Indians. Handoff Dickens. He's got the first down, it appears, at about the 43-yard line of Quanah.
Good job by Williamson that time to take on his blocker and force Dickens inside and also get a big piece of him, probably knocked him down.
It is a first down for Quanah. They trail 7-0 to the Eastland Mavericks. We're early in the second quarter here at Shotwell Stadium.
That's just 2 first downs for Quanah.
Checking into the ball game, Anthony Williams, who had 1 catch for 27 yards last week versus De Leon in Quanah's victory here, 24-22 over the Bearcats. Williams is lined up on the right side. Knight in at quarterback, hands off Dickens, running room, and he is going to be inside the 45-yard line of the Eastland Mavericks before he's tackled by Philip Montgomery, and it's a first down for Quanah. Raiford Rattan also there defensively for the Mavs, but not before the Indians have got a first down at the 43 of Eastland.
Dickens hits the hole so fast, and that was a perfect example of his quickness. He got it into the backfield so fast, and Montgomery had to just knock his feet out from under him to get him down.
Ben Cohn into the ball game defensively for Eastland. Also, Brian Orms checks back in. Dickens, 7 carries for 36 yards already in this game for the Quanah Indians. Handoff Dickens one more time as a flag goes down. If the play is allowed to stand, Dickens is down at about the 38-yard line. In on the tackle there, Ricky Petrie, along with Brent Sanderson, Raiford Rattan, Philip Montgomery, a lot of folks for Eastland. But remember, there is a flag down on the play. Let's see if we can pick up the signal from the referee.
We have holding, number 59 on the offense.
That is going to be Dean Eggers who's called for the holding against the Quanah Indians, and I sort of figured it might be holding from where that flag was thrown.
When you throw it at the pile, generally that's the call.
We're under 9 minutes left to go, second quarter, 8:57 left for halftime. And don't forget, at halftime, we'll have a look at the Mavs band under the direction of Phil Hewitt. Big mark off here, back inside the 50-yard line of the Quanah Indians.
David, I noticed,
holding, number 59 on the offense. Repeat first down.
I noticed you were enjoying some of the perks of your job, David, before the football game down there with those good-looking Eastland cheerleaders.
Yes, they are. That's one reason I'd like to see the playoffs continue. First and 20 now for Quanah. Man in motion is Anthony Williams. Knight. Oh, look out for the guard around play. The guard around play as the ball carrier is going to be down to the 20-yard line of the Eastland Mavericks. That was Junior Leal, 180-pound senior on the guard around play. But we've also got a flag down, so hold everything.
I think they're going to say it's a clip by number 77, Murgerson out there for Quanah.
Well, the quarterback did a nice job of faking, but I thought he didn't have the ball, and then I thought with the flow was going, look out, and sure enough, it was a Junior Leal carry on the guard around. Basically, it's a fumble on that kind of a play, isn't it, Tommy?
Sure is, and you know, I noticed Philip Montgomery saw the play. He was reading the pitch and saw the ball wasn't there and was looking back, but of course, he was on the other side of the field and could do nothing about it.
We got an illegal use of the hands on the offense from this spot.
So it looks like the penalty would be marked off from about the 20-yard line. Penalties so far in our ball game: 4 for Eastland for 20 yards, 3 for 35 against the Quanah Indians. And they're going to mark it off. They're going to spot the ball at the 37-yard line. Of course, it was a first and 20 play.
We have an illegal use of the hands on the offense. We'll repay first down.
So after we do all the spotting, it makes it first and about 4 for the Quanah Indians at the 37-yard line. And there's Ron Sanderson along the sideline looking on as his defensive unit has got to stop Quanah at the Eastland 37-yard line. First and 4. Jeff Knight in at quarterback. Hands off. Well, who else? Dickens. 35, still going down to about the 32-yard line. Boy, he's wrapped up by a whole bunch of those black shirts. Sanderson, Bird, also Brian Orms in on the tackle there for the Eastland Mavericks. But it looks like it should be enough for the first down, and it is for the Quanah Indians with 8:07 left to go here in the second quarter of play.
Quanah starting to get the ground game on track a little bit. Setrick, Dickens, what a great running back, as you said a while ago, David. With his statistics, he's really got to be a big key in Eastland's expectations to win this football game. They got to shut him down.
26 carries for Dickens last week for 165 yards versus De Leon. He also had 1 catch for 23 yards. Handoff up the middle. Dickens one more time across the 30 to about the 28-yard line. Jeff Bird in on the tackle. So last week against De Leon, Dickens accounted for 188 yards of total offense for Quanah. Ricky Petrie also there on that tackle defensively for Eastland. And Dickens on that last carry picks up 3 more yards. It's second down and 7 now for Quanah at the 28-yard line of the Eastland Mavericks.
Jeff Bird put a real big hit on Dickens on that last play.
Jeff Bird, 5'10", 175-pound senior. Out of the wishbone, handoff, Dickens. And he's going to be inside the 25 to about the 23-yard line. Sanderson with the tackle along with Petrie again. Jay Clark also defensively for Eastland. But it's pretty obvious now what Quanah's strength is that power game and just hand the ball off a lot to Dickens and then occasionally to Isabel to keep the defense honest.
They're going man-on-man against that big defensive line for Eastland and letting the linebackers try to pick up Dickens.
Pick up a 4 on that last carry. 3rd and 3 for Quanah at the 23-yard line of the Eastland Mavericks. Eastland leading in our ball game by a score of 7-0. Dickens one more time, wrapped up by Williamson. Also there, Jeff Bird for the Eastland Mavs, and that's going to be close for a first down for Quanah. Tracy Messenger also in the vicinity, number 3 for the Eastland Mavericks. And now it looks like we might have another official's timeout called.
They're going to bring the chains out and measure.
They sure are.
Timeout on me.
David Robinette says they're a foot off.
Well, we'll see how good Mr. Robinette's eyes are.
He said they're real good, David.
Well, they are. By golly, those keepers got checked over the Thanksgiving Day holiday, didn't they? Fourth down now for the Quanah Indians. They lack about a foot.
They're not going to punt.
No, I don't think so. Not with Dickens. Of course, their coach, Jim Wood, feels one of the keys of success this season for Quanah has been their conditioning. And this late in the season, you're going to have to be in pretty good condition. 6:29 left to go, second quarter. Eastland trying to protect a 7-0 lead over Quanah. The Indians on 4th and a foot at the 22-yard line of Eastland. Knight in at quarterback. And we got whistles and flags are down before the play even unfolds. Let's see what the meaning of the flag is as we try to pick up the preliminary indication from the official. .628 is up on the clock right now as the discussion is ongoing at the 22 of Eastland. And let's see.
Fourth down.
Fourth down, okay.
I guess it was an inadvertent whistle.
Well, we'll try this again to set it all up one more time. 4th and a foot for Quanah at the 22-yard line. And now we're going to stop play one more time. Well, some of the Eastland players are still clapping their hands. This might be over the spot of the ball from the way they're looking now. And we're going to bring the chain in one more time to spot the ball correctly. 6:16 is left up on the clock now. They ran off about 12 seconds before the clock was stopped one more time. We'll spot the ball still about a foot short of what they need for the first down.
I don't think they've noticed that they ran some time off the clock, Dave.
Yeah, there's 12 seconds off that clock. We've got a fresh 25 now on the play clock, but there's 6:16 left now on the game clock here in the second quarter. This is the third time we have tried to get this play off. Let's see if we're able to do it this time. Looks like the third time will be the charm. 4th and a foot. Handoff. The big fullback Sanchez has got the first down. Isabel Sanchez, number 44, the ball carrier, brought down by Chad Gosnell, but not before it is a first down for the Quanah Indians. Brent Sanderson also there defensively. And that's also going to be a penetration now for Quanah. They're inside the 20 of Eastland. In case this ball game ends up in a tie, the number of penetrations you've got inside your opponent's 20-yard line will be the first possible tiebreaker. 1 penetration apiece now, according to Dave Robinette, our statistician. We're under 6 minutes and counting left to go, first half. Quanah with his first serious threat of the night. Option play, quarterback keeps, down to about the 18-yard line. In on the tackle there is going to be Brian Orms for the Eastland Mavericks.
Brian Orms, the left defensive end that time for the Eastland Mavericks, making a good job playing off his block and getting out there and making the tackle.
I'm impressed by the size of the crowd here. I don't know how many folks are left in either Eastland or Quanah tonight, but there aren't few.
David, tell us, for us uninformed geographically speaking, where Quanah is.
Quanah is up by Wichita Falls. It is west-northwest of Wichita Falls along the Red River area. Handoff Dickens, and he's going to be brought down at the 15-yard line by Ricky Petrie. And Petrie with a fine open field tackle to stop the ball carrier Dickens after a gain of about 3 yards. And don't forget, at halftime, we'll be joined by Phil Hewitt to describe all of the halftime activities of the Eastland Maverick Band. And he wants to tell us about a big trip that the band will be making later on this school year over to Florida and to go see Disney World. 4:40 left to go, second quarter, 7-0 lead for the Eastland Mavericks over the Quanah Indians. Handoff, Dickens, 15, 10, still going at the 5, and he's going to be stopped at about the 1-yard line.
Penalty flag down, Dave.
Penalty flag is down.
It might have been a face mask, I don't know.
Well, some of the Eastland players are clapping their hands.
Number 55 offense.
Oh, boy.
So bring the good run back. It would have been a first and goal at the 1-yard line of Eastland, but Quanah with another penalty to hurt themselves. Number 65 is going to be Trenton Boyd, who was called for the penalty with 4:27 left to go here in the second quarter. Oh, my, this is a big penalty. It would have been a first and goal at the 1. It's now going to be all the way back at the 22-yard line of Eastland.
Does that take away a penetration, David?
I think once you've got it, it's
holding.
It's in the bag.
Number 65 on the offense. Third down.
Third down now for the Quanah Indians at the 22-yard line. And now the Eastland folks are yelling for their defense to rise to the occasion and thwart this scoring effort by the Quanah Indians. Jeff Knight falls down behind the line of scrimmage at the 30-yard line. Looked like he was trying to go back to pass, and he never got his footing, Tom. And, boy, Quanah has really taken themselves out of a scoring opportunity here.
And Brian Orms and Dean Eggers took out the referee.
They're actually going to spot the quarterback down at the 28-yard line, so it's fourth down and about 18 now.
Charles Orms is raising a courteous kid. He did help the referee up after they knocked him down.
Well, that was awfully nice of him. Fourth and about 18 now for the Quanah Indians back at the 28-yard line of the Eastland Mavericks. Jeff Knight is going to throw. Looks, and it's going to be complete at the 12-yard line, but that's going to be short of what they needed for the first down. Williams with the catch, brought down by Jeff Bird, but it's short of what the Quanah Indians needed for the first down. But they do bottle the Mavs up deep in their own territory. With 3:25 left to go in the second quarter, our score, Eastland 7, Quanah nothing. Football 88 will continue in a moment on KTAB.
With over 50 years of experience, you know your car will be fixed right at Scott Paint and Body Works. Scott Paint and Body Works, 300 West Commerce in Eastland, knows how to fix your car or pickup and fix it right. Their professionals tend to every detail, just like it was their own personal car instead of a customer's. Let Sam Beggs and his crew at Scott Paint and Body Works show you what they mean with quality workmanship, or ask your neighbor about Scott Paint and Body in Eastland. Higginbotham Bartlett Company, 313 West Main in Eastland is your fix-em-up, paint-em-up, and build-em-up headquarters. There's great prices throughout the store on quality tools and materials at Higginbotham Bartlett. Shop Higginbotham Bartlett for Jones Blair paints. You'll find a rainbow of colors along with Jones Blair quality. And when you stop by, look at the new electrical section for all of your wiring needs. We're here to serve you at Higginbotham Bartlett, 313 West Main in Eastland.
When you're a winner, you've worked hard to earn due respect, the respect that was hard fought for, like the state championship title the Eastland Mavericks brought home in 1982. Another winner in Eastland for over 20 years is Moylan Construction. Moylan Construction respected for quality work and on-time completion, whether it be oil or gas pipeline. Call Moylan Construction for your pipeline needs, and you can be proud of a job well done like Eastland is of the Mavericks.
Thrift Mart Supermarket in Eastland says, "Go Mavericks!" Thrift Mart in Eastland features garden fresh fruits and vegetables in their produce department. Top quality fresh meats in their up-to-date market, along with great prices. You'll also find fresh pastries in the Eastland Thrift Mart Bake Shop. And look to Thrift Mart for quality, Surefine labeled products throughout the store. Thrift Mart Supermarket in Eastland, an affiliated food store, bringing their best to Eastland.
Well, the Quanah Indians had the ball down at the 1-yard line of Eastland, only to have it called back because of a holding penalty, and as a result, Quanah used up 7 minutes and 4 seconds on the clock and has got no points to show for it. The ball carrier is Escobedo, and he fumbles the ball down at about the 22-yard line, and it looks like Quanah has come up with it. Escobedo fumbles the ball, and it's going to be recovered by J.B. Duncan was the man who delivered the blow that knocked the ball loose from Poppy Escobedo. And the Quanah Indians get the ball back on the turnover.
Last one up with the ball, David, I think was Brinkerhoff, the left end for the Quanah Indians.
But it was going to be J.B. Duncan, the 220-pound senior, who delivered the lick that separated the ball from the ball carrier. So Quanah gets the ball back. Great field position. And there's Ron Sanderson, disappointed by that turn of events for Eastland. 3:19 left to go, second quarter. Knight in at quarterback for Quanah. Handoff, Williams. He finds the going tough over the left side. He might have gained a yard to the 21 before he's brought down by Poppy Escobedo. That's poetic justice.
Poppy says, well, I've got to redeem myself.
Also coming into the ball game now defensively for the Eastland Mavericks, that's Ricky Petrie.
Escobedo coming out.
Don't you dare give me, is it on?
So it's going to be second down and about 9 needed for the first down for Quanah. We're under 3 minutes and counting left to go here in our first half of play. Handoff, Dickens, look out, running room inside the 10. Finally brought down by Montgomery. Also there, Raiford Rattan for the Eastland Mavericks, but not before it is an apparent first down for the Quanah Indians, and that will be another penetration for Quanah. They now lead 2-1 in the penetration department, but they've got 0 points up on the scoreboard right now. Eastland is leading thanks to a 6-yard touchdown run by Raiford Rattan.
Setrick Dickens that time. You get him in open field in that defensive backfield, he is tough.
Indians go to the wishbone offense. Handoff, Dickens. He's down to about the 2-yard line. Raiford Rattan in on the tackle. Also, it appears to be Messenger over there on the far side of the field, but that's going to set up a second and goal situation for the Quanah Indians with 2:10 left to go here in the first half.
You could just feel the momentum gaining in Quanah, David, and then all the penalties and stuff, and then to get that fumble back, it just happened to just rejuvenate them.
Well, let's just leave it here at the stadium with 2:05 left to go here in our second quarter of play. Eastland leading the ball game 7-0. I think both teams have had a turnover apiece. Raiford Rattan had the interception for Eastland, and then, of course, that fumble recovery just a few moments ago by Quanah to set up this scoring opportunity. They've got a second and goal at about the 1-yard line now of the Eastland Mavericks. As you see the Eastland defensive unit huddling around their coach along the near sideline. There's Ron Sanderson wearing the jacket in the middle of the crowd. Ron, in his first year as the head coach of these Eastland Mavericks, came here from Gunter.
David, it's just an off-the-wall question, but what happens to Eastland's basketball team when the football team is out right now? Just think of
they're not playing basketball.
They're not playing basketball at all.
No. Matter of fact, basketball will start the Monday after the playoffs end. 2:05 left to go here in our first half of play. Believe you me, though, they'd rather be playing with that strange-shaped ball than the big round one.
An oblong, weird-looking ball right now as the time goes on.
And I think Gordon Lockett, who is one of the football assistant coaches, is the head boys basketball coach. Second and goal now for the Quanah Indians at the 1-yard line of the Eastland Mavericks. Quanah trying to tie this ball game up. Hand off, that is going to be a touchdown.
Just a great job that time by the right tackle for Quanah. Greg Murderson just takes his man right into the end zone, opens a big hole for the running back to score that touchdown.
Setrick Dickens. Dickens with the touchdown. That's his 39th touchdown of the season, his 35th on the ground. And now the Quanah Indians are just a Setrick Dickens kick away from tying this ball game up. Not only does he run the ball, he kicks the ball. Big number 12 there for the Quanah Indians. Kick is on its way. It's no thing of beauty, but it is good. Our new score in the ball game with 2:03 left to go in the first half. It's Eastland 7, Quanah 7. Football 88 will continue in a moment on KTAB.
You'd think a duplexing copier with the widest zoom range for its price. One with a sorter and document feeder would have to be pretty big. Think again, the Minolta 415Z. You could say they met at the office, and now that they've been together for so long, we thought they should be married. The Minolta 251, the wedding of the copier, the telephone, and the fax.
Call the Stephen Company, this area's authorized Minolta dealer.
BC Construction, owned and operated by Bob Carroll, has been serving Eastland County for over 30 years. BC Construction has the heavy equipment to do the job, like road construction or general oil field construction. And BC Construction is fully insured and bonded with qualified personnel for any size job. BC Construction is also an enthusiastic supporter of the Eastland Mavericks and wish the red and black best of luck. For all of your construction needs, call BC Construction, supporting the Eastland Mavericks. For the right parts and everything else, make your first stop at Magnum's Parts Plus in Eastland. At Magnum's Auto Parts, you'll find a wide selection to choose from. And if we don't have it in stock, you can't believe how fast we can get it. And Magnum's Auto Parts is Eastland County's dealer for the Parts Plus franchise for even better selection. When you need auto parts, get the right parts from Magnum's Parts Plus in Eastland, next to the Sonic on Highway 80 East. Eastland's new dealer for Parts Plus is Magnum's. We're leading the way to state for Eastland and the future farmers of America. The Eastland High School chapter of Future Farmers wishes best of luck to the Mavericks. The future farmers of Eastland have led the way with excellence, hard work, and determination. That hard work and determination has had its rewards for the Eastland High School chapter and will continue to do so at the state meet in Huntsville. So our team is behind the Mavericks because we know what it takes to win. From one winner to another, go Mavs, from the future farmers of Eastland High School.
There's the Gaz
exhorting his teammates.
That was a 4-play, 23-yard drive. Time of possession 1:16 for the Quanah Indians as they tie the ball game up. Quanah leads on penetrations 2-1. We're tied up on first downs at 6-6. Number of plays so far in our ball game. Eastland has snapped the ball 16 times. Quanah has snapped the ball 24 times. 2:03 left to go in our game. It's tied up at 7-7 between Quanah and Eastland here tonight at Shotwell Stadium. It's going to be a short kick taken. Well, it's going to be fumbled and then picked up by Vernon, Chris Vernon, to about the 28-yard line. So it'll be a first down and 10 for Eastland. Tackle by Craig Horton defensively there for the Quanah Indians. Eastland's got 1:57 left to try to make something happen here in our first half of play.
Heads-up play that time by number 20, Chris Vernon, 5'8", 160-pound senior.
Montgomery checks back into the ball game at quarterback for Eastland. Adamez is in at wide receiver. He comes out wide to the left side. Richard High goes out wide to the right. Eastland has got the ball at its own 28-yard line. Montgomery throws, pass is complete to Adamez, and he's going to be down at about the 34-yard line. Brought down defensively in the area, Jim Moncrief, and Eastland is going to go without a huddle, trying to get things going here, get some more points on the scoreboard before halftime. Clock is continuing to roll with 1:37, 1:36, 1:35. Montgomery throws, and it's off the fingertips of Adamez at the 43-yard line. That will stop the clock with 1:33. When we come back, it'll be 3rd and 4 for the Mavs.
Adamez very upset with himself. He knows he should have caught that ball, hit him right in the hands.
Adamez, a 5'8", 140-pound senior for these Eastland Mavericks.
John Morris just brought the play in.
Now Morris will come out wide to the left. High goes out wide to the right on 3rd and 4 for the Mavs from the 34-yard line. They're going to throw to Morris. He's got the first down at the 42-yard line. Brought down by Moncrief for the Quanah Indians. But it is a first down that stops the clock momentarily. They'll move the chains. Eastland going without a huddle. Many fans will be wondering, where do they call the plays during a stretch like this, Tommy?
They already have them pre-called, David. 2 plays at a time, and then they'll bring one in.
First and 10 for the Mavs from their own 42-yard line. Montgomery throwing long downfield. Adams, and it's going to be intercepted at the 20-yard line. Jeff Knight with the interception. Of course, last week, Jeff Knight intercepted a pass versus DeLeon and returned it 56 yards for a touchdown against the Bearcats. He picks off this pass and is run out of bounds at the 23-yard line of Quanah.
Jeff Knight just playing center fielder that time. Noticed had a long time to get there. The ball was kind of hung up on the receiver Adams and made a good reception, and he was tackled by Raiford Rattan on the sideline.
It will be a first down and 10 for Quanah at their own 23-yard line following the interception. There's one of the young Eastland Maverick fans watching the ball game tonight here at Shotwell Stadium with 1:14 left to go. First half about ready to expire here at Shotwell. Jeff Knight in a quarterback. He's the Indian who just came up with that intercepted pass. Pitch back goes to Setrick Dickens. Oh, and a fine open field tackle by Raiford Rattan.
Super job by Rattan that time.
They're the two big offensive weapons for both clubs on the field making the tackle there, as we're going to stop the clock with 1:03 left to go in the second quarter of a tie ball game.
Raiford did a great job of playing off his block, waiting till the last second, because Dickens can give you so many moves, a leg here, a leg there, and he hit him right in the middle, right where he needed to make the tackle.
Of course, as we have made a point before in this broadcast, both of these teams are no strangers to this facility. For Quanah, this is their third straight week to make the 2.5-hour drive down from Red River Country. In the meantime, for Eastland, this is the third time in the last 4 weeks that they have played here at this facility. Of course, last week they went on the road to Childress and won at Fair Park Stadium up there 17-0 over the West Texas High School Comanches.
Let's give it to Greg Ferris, the athletic director for Abilene Independent School District. He, a couple of years ago, I guess some people got to asking a few questions. Why aren't we getting more playoff games, David? And he decided he was going to go out and recruit some teams and see if we could get some. And they had all the businesses here in town were all for it, and it's been a big boon to Abilene, and we appreciate the opportunity to help these folks.
I think this is like the 6th playoff game that this facility has hosted in the 4 weeks so far of the state playoffs. So far in our ball game, Setrick Dickens, 18 carries for 89 yards and 1 touchdown for the Quanah Indians. Gain of 3 on that last carry. Second down and 7 now for the Indians. They've got the ball at their own 26-yard line. Handoff goes to Dickens, and he is going to be brought down at the 30-yard line. With the tackle, Poppy Escobedo. In the ball game also, we've got Chris Milliken. He was the man in motion just then for Quanah, as now we've got another timeout on the field. And let's see who calls this one. Apparently, Eastland has called it.
David, I see Poppy Escobedo as being a big star for Eastland in the future. As soon as Raiford Rattan graduates this year, he's going to come in and play very well for them next year, defensively and offensively.
Poppy Escobedo, a 5'10", 170-pound junior for these Eastland Mavericks. They have got a ton of juniors on this team. Just defensively, you've got Petrie, Clark, Gosnell, Orms. Also for juniors, you got Philip Montgomery. Brent Sanderson is only a sophomore. So you've got a lot of folks who'll be back on this team. Richard High at wide receiver is only a junior. So the Eastland Mavericks, they're reaching the quarterfinals this year. You'd have to figure they'll be a power again next year. But they'll have to figure a way to come up with a replacement for Raiford Rattan. And what a great ball player Raiford has been for these Eastland Mavericks.
I think they're grooming him in Poppy Escobedo. I think he's going to come in and fill those shoes very well.
Raiford with more than 1,700 yards of rushing this season. He has scored 9 playoff touchdowns, and he has also caught 24 passes for 350 yards. So he's accounted for more than 2,000 yards of total offense. Dickens, the ball carrier, 45, still going to the 50-yard line before he's brought down by Brent Sanderson at the 48 of the Eastland Mavericks. 43 seconds left to go here in the second quarter of a 7-7 ball game.
Dickens just showing great open field running ability and great quickness, running right by tacklers, potential tacklers, breaking tackles, and great blocking by his offensive line, David. I'm telling you right now, the Greg Mergerson, Junior Leal, Jim Moncrief, Trenton Boyd, and Dean Eggers are doing a good job.
They're small, but evidently very quick. 210 pounds, 196, 160, 180, 210 up front for Quanah. Not as big as Eastland, but they're doing the job as Dickens is loose along the near sideline. Run out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. 25 seconds left to go in the second quarter. And all of a sudden, Quanah has got something going as they have come up with their second turnover in this ball game. It was an interception of a Philip Montgomery pass at the 23-yard line. It looked like with less than 2 minutes left to go in the first half that Quanah might be content to run out the clock, but instead they've got a serious scoring threat going.
They'd like to get a penetration, if anything.
They've already got 2 penetrations in the ball game as the quarterback throws long downfield, batted and incomplete at about the 12-yard line.
Raiford Rattan over there in coverage that time and did a great job of just knocking the ball away. He had a lot of time to get over there. Number 30,
Anthony Williams.
Anthony Williams was open for a long time. Raiford showed great closing ability. The ball kind of hung up on the quarterback Knight, and the Raiford did a great job of knocking it down. Could have been 6 points for the Quanah Indians.
Yeah, last week Williams had 1 catch for 27 yards versus DeLeon. We've got 19 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. Second down and 10 for Quanah at the 36-yard line of Eastland. 7-7 ball game. But Quanah has got a scoring threat going here in the closing seconds of our first half of play. Jeff Knight in at quarterback. Big, tall youngster throws. It's going to be incomplete. Dickens, the intended receiver, at the 25-yard line of Eastland. That stops the clock with 15 seconds left to go. It will be 3rd and 10 here in our first half of play.
Dickens is really a grain breaker. That time he showed some of his speed trying to get to the ball, just flat-out running ability. And I'm telling you, I think he's the fastest guy on the field out there tonight.
Poppy Escobedo back into the ball game defensively now for the Eastland Mavericks. Checking out Ricky Petrie. What they're doing is going to more defensive backfield personnel. 4 down linemen for the Eastland Mavericks on 3rd and 10. Knight to throw again downfield, and it's going to be intercepted by Poppy Escobedo. Escobedo comes up with the interception that was intended for Williams.
Why did that happen? Philip Montgomery levels Williams, and the ball pops up in the air, and Poppy Escobedo is around the football, makes the interception.
So the Mavs get the ball back with 8 seconds left, and they deny the Quanah Indians a late scoring opportunity here in our first half of play. Let's take a look at that one more time on instant replay. What a great defensive play for the Eastland Mavericks as Poppy Escobedo comes up with the interception. Back to live action now. Montgomery long downfield, and it's intercepted by Knight of the Quanah Indians. With the return, he's brought down to end our first half of play. So Philip Montgomery with his second interception, but on the last play of the first half, and it really doesn't account, but we've also got an injured Maverick down on the field at about the 45-yard line.
Richard High.
Richard High is down at the 45-yard line, drawing medical attention as we come to the end of our first half of play here at P.E. Shotwell Stadium. The score, Eastland 7, Quanah 7, and Richard High is now up, moving underneath the zone power, so evidently High not seriously hurt. Let's hope that he's going to be okay and be back for our second half. Football 88 will continue in a moment on KTAB.
Eba Iron is an innovative manufacturer of joint restraint systems for the water and wastewater industry. Eba's leading products are the patented Megalug and Flex-10, systems designed to restrain and protect pipelines from unexpected motion.
Eba Iron, helping build a stronger community.
You know the Metroplex, but for quality at affordable prices, shop the Microplex, Eastland County.
If you're tired of overpriced cars and want a fair deal, come to Caldwell Motor Company in Eastland. Caldwell Motor Company can sell you a truck or car for less, simply because their overhead is lower, and the selection is great. They're the authorized dealer for Oldsmobile, Pontiac, Buick, GMC, and Cadillac. Shop and save at Caldwell Motor Company.
Shop the Microplex, Eastland County.
Eastland National Bank, a full-service friendly bank, is proud to be a part of the growth of Eastland. The Eastland National Bank is behind the red and black Eastland Mavericks in the 1988 high school playoffs. Eastland National Bank and the people of Eastland are proud of the Mavericks for another playoff appearance. So go get 'em, Mavs. For a full-service, friendly hometown bank, think of Eastland National Bank, where you're always greeted with a smile. Banking like it should be, friendly. At Eastland National Bank, member FDIC. Hood King Ford Mercury in Eastland wants to know, have you driven a Ford lately? Well, if you haven't, come see the new 1989 Ford and Mercuries that have just arrived. You'll find additional saving at Hood King as we celebrate 50 years as Eastland County's Ford and Mercury dealer. Hood King has in stock the exciting Tempo, Taurus, and versatile Aerostar vans, and Texas' favorite, the tough Ford pickups. See Hood King for quality selection of used cars, too. For personal service, it's Hood King Ford in Eastland, celebrating 50 years of service.
Our score at halftime at P.E. Shotwell Stadium, Eastland 7, Quanah 7. Eastland took a 6-yard run by Raiford Rattan to cap an 11-play, 83-yard drive. They led at the end of the first quarter 7-0. Then Quanah came back with a 4-play, 23-yard drive that was set up by an Eastland turnover. 1-yard run by Dickens put Quanah on the scoreboard in the second quarter, and that's where we stand here at the end of our first half of play. Eastland 7, Quanah 7.
This football game so far is a tale of two quarters. First quarter was all Eastland Mavericks. They controlled the ball, ran a lot of clock, held Quanah on their first possession, and then it seems like the second quarter, it was just a reverse happened. Quanah took, I don't know how long that drive was that they scored on. David, you just said a while ago.
Oh, for which drive?
The Quanah scoring drive was
116. They moved the ball quickly.
But the drive prior to that, when they stalled out at the
7 minutes, they had a
7-minute drive, yeah.
And no points to score for it. So, for Eastland, they've got to figure a way to stop number 12. Setrick Dickens has been running wild here in the second quarter of play.
Their offensive line for the Quanah Indians, they run the ball very well. They've done a great job executing, maintaining their blocks, putting the pressure on the linebackers and defensive backs to come up and make the play.
For Dickens, 12 carries for 128 yards and 1 touchdown. He had 165 yards of rushing in the first ball game last week against De Leon. In the entire ball game, he had 165 yards. He's got 128 at the half tonight.
He's a big factor. You know, Coach Sanderson said he's got to stop Dickens and got to stop that running game for Quanah because they ate up 7 minutes of clock and didn't even score.
So our score here at halftime, it's Eastland 7, Quanah 7. When we come back, we'll take a look at the Eastland Maverick Band. Football 88 will continue in a moment on KTAB.
Let the Buddy Aaron team be the winning team for your life insurance needs. Trust the professionals in Eastland's most progressive insurance agency. The friendly staff at Buddy Aaron offer complete insurance services from life, health, home, and auto. Buddy Aaron also offers 20 years experience as an independent agent and as a representative of E.F. Hutton Life. Put the winning team to work for you and call the man with a plan. Call the Buddy Aaron Insurance Agency for your complete insurance needs.
If you look good, you'll feel great. And you can find that great feeling at Images Hair Design in Eastland. Let the friendly folks at Images help you look and feel great with a design from Images. And step next door and look sharp with a monogrammed shirt or cap from Monograms by Cher. Monograms by Cher offers custom lettering and embroidery. So look good and feel great after stopping in at Images Hair Designs and Monograms by Cher, Highway 80 East in Eastland.
For almost 40 years, Cheney Gas Company has served Eastland and surrounding counties. Cheney Gas Company offers fast, dependable service with their radio-equipped trucks for their customers. Cheney Gas Company will provide you with propane for your home, vehicles, or your barbecue tank. Come by Cheney Gas Company, 708 West Main, and visit. The coffee's always on, and always a friendly greeting at Cheney Gas Company in Eastland, where your support is appreciated for a great year in 1988.
Don't have to be a farmer to be able to enjoy the personal service you can get from Jim Kennedy and Farm Bureau Insurance. Jim Kennedy and Farm Bureau Insurance offer you one of the top 10 insurance companies for coverage. And you'll like the Farm Bureau kind of service you receive when you give them a call. So put the Farm Bureau Insurance team to work for your home, life, auto, or even farm insurance needs. Call today. You'll love the personalized service you'll receive from Farm Bureau Insurance, Eastland.
The Eastland
Back here at P.E. Shotwell Stadium, we're at halftime. Our score, Eastland 7, Quanah 7. Joining us in the press box now, the director of the Eastland Maverick Band, Phil Hewitt. And Phil, describe for us what's going on here for the next couple of moments with your band.
Well, thank you very much. It's a real privilege to get a chance to visit with you again about the Eastland Band. We're using an end zone entrance tonight, coming down in 2 company fronts, playing our school fight song. We had to make some special adjustments this week because of a FFA convention in Huntsville, and the students had to leave today at noontime, and so we had to do a little new drill design to make it work for tonight. Our drum major tonight is Jennifer Maynard, and this is her first time to be a drum major. Tammy Lyler is one of the students that went down to Huntsville, and she's doing an outstanding job. This is called a pinwheel drill, and it's really a challenge to do a great big pinwheel like that. Students have to really watch and really guide to make it happen. And they're doing this to the music of the school fight song.
And we see Doug Wortman out there, number 15 again this week in his football jersey out there.
Oh, yes.
I think that's wonderful that you got a youngster like that who still wants to be a part of the band, even though he has got the broken arm and unable to play.
Well, he's a really fine student and a good tuba player. Oh, we miss his playing. But tuba is something that seems to be really hard to come by in a smaller school.
Well, he's a football player. He can haul one of those around.
Oh, yes. We use a bell front tuba as opposed to a sousaphone, and you do have to have some control to hold that thing.
Holiday season adds a lot to our lives, and music of the season makes the holidays even better. Featuring the Eastland Percussive Arts Society and the 10 Soldiers, the Nutcracker Suite.
Our band is going to attempt at this point to act like 10 soldiers on the field, and we're doing part of the Nutcracker Suite with our percussion section. Trying to march with a straight leg is pretty hard to do after you've been working on them all year to pick their knees up.
Well, as cold as it is, Phil, it might not be that hard.
Yeah. One of the things that's come out of the business with the drum and bugle corps is the percussion feature in each show. And this gives this section something special to do, and it really expands the opportunities that these students have to participate in other than just the normal things that percussionists would do.
Phil, I know you and I have talked on the phone in previous weeks about your upcoming trip to Florida and Disney World. I know your band is all excited about that trip coming up soon.
Well, it's really wonderful. We've been given permission by the school board to pursue going to Orlando, Florida to participate in the 200th anniversary of our Constitution in the Walt Disney World Music Festival. And for any band to get to go to that is outstanding, and we're just thrilled to death that Eastland's going to get to go. At this time, we're featuring our big band jazz sound, and we've done this tune before, but it's kind of all new tonight because our soloists are in Huntsville. And our first soloist tonight is one of our tenor saxophone players, Steve Malden, and he's an 8th grader. And then we're going to feature a tuba solo, which is a rather unusual instrument for a solo. And then one of our trumpet players, Mark Witzel. So let's listen to the big band sound in mass brass. Yeah, there we go. By the way, this is Douglas's brother.
Okay.
Michael Wortman, and he's a senior, played all district and all region. And this is Mark Witzel. we get the whole band back into it, a little of that big band swing style.
Well, considering they hadn't soloed before, they sounded pretty good.
Well, I'll tell you, they were scared to death. If you look real close, you could see the knees shaking in the pants. They did an outstanding job.
Aren't you glad you weren't trying to do the nutcracker on that part?
And this is a little bit of John Philip Sousa. I guess I'm an old timer from that standpoint. I have a hard time playing a concert or doing something with the band without including something of John Philip Sousa.
Oh, I agree.
The old March Gang.
Featuring Mark Whistle on trumpet and John Mark Vermillion on trombone, one of Willie Nelson's big hits, Georgia on My Mind.
And again, in our quest for variety, we try to play 5 or 6 different tunes so we can hit everybody's taste somewhere along the line in each show. And of course, Georgia on My Mind has got to be one of the greatest.
Oh, yeah.
And now we play like we're down New Orleans way,
Okay.
going down the back streets down there, getting in that jazz mood for the ending.
You're talking about your trip to Florida. Are y'all going to have some special fundraising events to help finance that trip down there?
Yes, we are. We're doing several things. We're collecting aluminum cans. We're having a big rummage sale, and that's in April. And then the thing that's right around the corner is Sunday the 11th of December. We're having our Christmas concert in the Majestic Theater. And the Majestic has just been completely remodeled, and it's a real thrill, and we'll have all of our bands perform.
Is that somewhat akin to the Paramount Theater here in Abilene, the old downtown theater that's been kept alive?
The community got together. Earl Bradley was the impetus behind it, and then the Eastland Fine Arts Association was founded, and out of it has come this beautiful theater.
Great.
We call that a down-home ending.
All right. Well, your young lady who's filling in as your drum major for the first time has done a nice job out here tonight.
Yes, Jennifer Maynard is a sophomore. She plays many different instruments. She's a fantastic twirler. She won a world championship title last year over in Australia. And it's just turned out to be a great thing, and she has a lot of talent and has really helped us.
The Eastland band monogram and the EHS pin.
This is really a challenge to do something like this. It's fun to get in the letters, but then try to turn them around and keep them so that you can read them the whole time. And it presents a challenge that we try to improve on each week. And we're looking forward to the time when we can spell out Mavericks.
Well, considering that you're going into this just a bit on the short-handed side here tonight, I think your band has done a marvelous job.
Well, thank you. I'm extremely proud of these kids. They worked hard today. And just to give you an example, a lot of them have played 2 basketball games today and traveled 3 or 4 places and didn't get here until we were unloading the bus. So they did a fantastic job. And The band is very proud that the people and the support from Eastland and our Band Booster Club is doing a fantastic job this year.
Thank you for being with us at halftime. Bill Hewitt, our special guest. Our score, Eastland 7, Quanah 7. Football 88 will continue in a moment on KTAB.
Eastland Drug can meet your prescription needs, and they offer you 24-hour delivery service. Stop in and enjoy a cool drink at their old-fashioned soda fountain, and while you're there, browse through their selection of cards, cosmetics, and fragrances. And don't forget the Gold Lantern with bridal registry and an excellent gift selection for birthdays and anniversaries or just because. The Gold Lantern carries dinnerware, stainless and silver plate flatware, and lead crystal gift items. Eastland Drug and the Gold Lantern, a must for shopping in Eastland.
With over 20 years of experience, you know you can trust Rossander Insurance for all of your needs. West Texas has grown to respect Richard Rossander and the Rossander Agency for auto, home, life, health, commercial, along with specializing in petrochemical insurance. Another fine professional you can depend on is Barbara Rossander, also qualified and experienced to serve you, your family, or your company's needs. Stop by and see for yourself the Rossander Insurance Agency in Eastland.
Moore Fuel Company in Eastland is your distributor for Gulf Chevron lubricants and fuel. Call Moore Fuel for bulk gasoline sales, bulk diesel sales, or oil in the quart, gallon, or 55-gallon drum. Moore Fuel Company also will serve your needs through your neighborhood Gulf Chevron service stations or the Moore's own station at 501 Main in Eastland. For top-quality Gulf Chevron products, don't settle for less. Call Moore Fuel Company at 629-2884. Moore Fuel Company in Eastland. If you want to see the best football played in Texas, go to Eastland Maverick Stadium next door to the offices of R.M. Snead General Contractor. And if you're wanting to know who will do you the best job, see Howard Maynard. Whatever type of pipeline you need, Snead's construction crews will show you how they've earned the reputation as one of Texas' best. Since 1948, R.M. Snead General Contractor has done general oil field construction and steel or polyethylene pipe placement. Go with a winner. Go with R.M. Snead General Contractor next to Maverick Stadium in Eastland.
Joining us along the sidelines right now, Flair Schumard, the cheerleader sponsor for Eastland High School. Flair, tell me about some of the activities that your girls have been doing so far this year.
Well, of course, we've had a long football season this year, and this has been a very busy bunch of girls. Every week, of course, they have to practice, paint signs, decorate the gym for the pep rallies, and get their routines sharpened up for the games, and it takes a lot of time, a lot of commitment, and this is a good bunch I have this year.
Tell me about the commitment. You know, I'm sure it's hard work trying to come up with different ideas and slogans and different ideas for all these pep rallies your team has been having this year.
It really is, and we've got girls this year that really put cheerleading as a priority, and it has to be because when you have a winning football team and you have community support like we have in Eastland, you have got to get behind your team, and you've got to come up with a good show for the crowd and to get the crowd fired up and get them behind the team, and you've got to work hard at it. It takes a lot of time.
But to say, imagine this year with the support and how well the team has played, it might be just a little bit easier, they say, than some other years.
Of course it is, and it's fun, too. We love it.
Let's see if we can get all these girls here. Let's start with you. Give me your name, your classification, and what does it mean to you to be an Eastland cheerleader?
Hi, my name is Amy Shoemaker, and I'm a sophomore. And I think the most important thing about being a cheerleader is that you're closer to the team, and so you know how they feel about it. And then just getting in front of the crowd and helping them yell for the team. It really helps them a lot.
Hi, I'm Ashley Yates, and I'm a freshman. I think the best part about being a cheerleader is being able to help lead the fans that we have. They're really good, and they help us in every way possible.
Hi, my name is Shonda Williams, and I'm a senior. I really like getting out in front of the crowd and just helping promote spirit, and it's really fun because the guys really appreciate it, and it helps them a lot.
Hi, I'm Josefa Roscoe, and I'm a senior. What cheerleading means to me is getting out in front of the crowd and cheering for your team and giving them all the support that you have. And whether win or lose, that you're there for them, and you'll always be there.
Hi, my name is Les Wilson, and I'm a senior. And what being a Maverick cheerleader to me is supporting, leading the crowd and supporting the winning team and sticking behind the guys no matter how they do, and just being with them.
Hi, my name is Evie Holland, and I'm a junior. And I really love cheerleading for the Mavericks because they're a real good football team. They're strong, and the crowd really gets involved, and I really enjoy it.
Hi, my name's Jody Gregory, and I'm a freshman. And being a cheerleader means I get to come to all the games and yell for the Mavs.
My name's Quanah and I'm a junior, and I think it's really special to be a cheerleader at Eastland because we have a winning tradition and we get to go a lot further than a lot of other teams do and everything. We get more in than most people do, and we just have a lot of spirit in Eastland, and it shows.
All right, thank you all very much. Those are your Eastland Maverick cheerleaders for 1988. Football 88 will continue in a moment on KTAB.
With over 50 years of experience, you know your car will be fixed right at Scott Paint and Body Works. Scott Paint and Body Works, 300 West Commerce in Eastland, knows how to fix your car or pickup and fix it right. Their professionals tend to every detail just like it was their own personal car instead of a customer's. Let Sam Beggs and his crew at Scott Paint and Body Works show you what they mean with quality workmanship, or ask your neighbor about Scott Paint and Body in Eastland. Higginbotham Bartlett Company, 313 West Main in Eastland is your fix-em-up, paint-em-up, and build-em-up headquarters. There's great prices throughout the store on quality tools and materials at Higginbotham Bartlett. Shop Higginbotham Bartlett for Jones Blair paints. You'll find a rainbow of colors, along with Jones Blair quality. And when you stop by, look at the new electrical section for all of your wiring needs. We're here to serve you at Higginbotham Bartlett, 313 West Main in Eastland.
When you're a winner, you've worked hard to earn due respect, the respect that was hard fought for, like the state championship title the Eastland Mavericks brought home in 1982. Another winner in Eastland for over 20 years is Moylan Construction. Moylan Construction respected for quality work and on-time completion, whether it be oil or gas pipeline. Call Moylan Construction for your pipeline needs, and you can be proud of a job well done like Eastland is of the Mavericks.
Thrift Mart Supermarket in Eastland says, "Go Mavericks!" Thrift Mart in Eastland features garden fresh fruits and vegetables in their produce department. Top quality fresh meats in their up-to-date market, along with great prices. You'll also find fresh pastries in the Eastland Thrift Mart Bake Shop. And look to Thrift Mart for quality, sure-fine labeled products throughout the store. Thrift Mart Supermarket in Eastland, an affiliated food store, bringing their best to Eastland.
Back here at P.E. Shotwell Stadium, the Quanah Indians making their appearance back on the field, going over some of our halftime stats with the score, the Eastland Mavericks 7, the Quanah Indians 7. In the first half, total plays 24 snaps of the ball for the Eastland Mavericks. They picked up 7 first downs, rushing 15 attempts for 71 yards for the Mavs. Leading rusher, Raiford Rattan, 12 carries for 40 yards. Passing 5 of 8 for 55 yards for Montgomery. He has also thrown 2 interceptions. Total offense now for the...
They will in the north.
All right.
Let's get them on the field. Let's play. Good luck to
There you heard the how we'll align for our second half of action. Total offense, 126 yards for the Eastland Mavericks. For the Quanah Indians, they snapped the ball 30 times, picked up 8 first downs, rushing 28 carries for 157 yards. Let's make one small correction. We were saying 12 carries for Dickens for 128 yards. Actually, it should be 21 carries for 128 yards. But still, those are impressive figures for Setrick Dickens, the leading ball carrier in our ball game so far, passing 1 of 3 with 1 interception and 15 yards of passing offense for 172 yards of total offense now for the Quanah Indians in our ball game, as we're tied here at halftime 7-7 between the Eastland Mavericks and the Quanah Indians. One small correction I'd like to make too: they are playing some basketball in Eastland, but not at the boys varsity level, okay?
All right.
So some round ball is going on in Eastland, but not at the boys varsity level, Tom.
David, think of the, you got Jay Clark, Brian Orms, and Petrie. Think of the inside rebounding ability those guys are going to have.
Yeah, really? Who's going to try to challenge that inside? The Eastland defense will open up our second half of play. The Quanah offense will hit the field first. And here in the third quarter, the Eastland Mavericks will have the wind at their back. Of course, Eastland took the opening kickoff They marched 83 yards in 11 plays, eating up 5:15 of our first quarter. They took a 7-0 lead, but then in the second quarter, Quanah got on the scoreboard following an Eastland turnover. Quanah moved pretty quickly. 4 plays, 23 yards, time of possession 1:16. They scored on a 1-yard run by Dickens to tie it up, and that's where we stand 7-7 right now as we start our third quarter.
Penetration-wise, though, Quanah has the advantage.
They sure do.
Maybe this is going to be a big part of the game right now for Eastland Mavericks, is to hold the Quanah Indians on this drive and try to get something established quick here, get a score, and then put it back in their court.
Okay, we're ready to go with our third quarter of action at Shotwell Stadium. The kickoff is going to be taken by Dickens, 10, 20, still going full head of speed out to the 31-yard line, and that's where he's going to be brought down by Vernon. Also there, Williamson defensively for the Eastland Mavericks. So Quanah starts the ball at their own 31-yard line.
Set that Quanah offense again. Left tackle Dean Eggers, left guard Trenton Boyd, center Jim Muncrief, right guard Junior Leal, right tackle Greg Mergerson, who did a tremendous job in that second quarter blocking for Dickens. Wide receiver is Craig Brinkerhoff. Tight end is Jason Swindell. Jeff Knight's a quarterback. Isabel Sanchez is a running back. Setrick Dickens is a running back. Anthony Williams, wide receiver.
We'll pick up that Eastland Maverick defensive unit for you in just a moment. Knight in at quarterback. The handoff goes to Dickens. He's across to about the 36-yard line. Tripped up by John Morris, who's in the ball game at one of those cornerback positions. The other cornerback, Benji Adamez. The rover is Raiford Rattan. The safety, Philip Montgomery. The linebackers are Messenger, Sanderson, and Jeff Bird. Up front, Williamson, Petrie, Gosnell, and Orms. Of course, Jay Clark, number 79, is in there a lot, too, so be looking for him in certain situations. Second down and 4. This is Dickens, the ball carrier, out to about the 42-yard line. Tripped up by Raiford Rattan. Also there, Brian Orms. Let's see if it's enough for the first down for the Quanah Indians. It is a first down for the Indians. Their first here in the third quarter of play. Their 9th in the ball game.
Again, just like moving the chains, the Quanah Indians, that's what they did best in that second quarter, is just execute that running game and make first downs, move the ball.
Dickens is approaching 2,500 yards of rushing this season, and this is only the 13th ball game that these Indians have played. First down and 10 now for Quanah at their own 42-yard line. Hand off to Williams on the end around. 45. He's still going at the 50. He's still at the 40, 35, finally down at the 31-yard line of the Eastland Mavericks, brought down by Jeff Bird. The end-around play works for a big gainer for the Quanah Indians.
At half, the Eastland Maverick football team had a shot at Williams and missed the tackle, either by getting knocked off or whatever, but just a great effort by Jeff Bird to get over there. I thought Ricky Petrie had him. I thought Raiford Rattan had him, and Jeff Bird finally had to get him because it was getting serious.
First down and 10 for Quanah at the Eastland 31-yard line. Williams, a 175-pound junior. He's number 30 in the ball game for these Quanah Indians. Jeff Knight, number 10, in at quarterback. Pitchback goes to Dickens, and he is going to be brought down by Morris. What a mismatch. Dickens, 175 pounds, but he's brought down by Morris, a 145-pounder for the Eastland Mavericks.
I was talking to Coach Payne, John Payne, the head coach of the Abilene Christian Wildcats at halftime, and he said this Dickens has been recruited by everybody in the country, and number 1 on the list right now is Oklahoma State. And they're hurting for a running back, David.
Winner of this ball game advances to the state semifinals in Class 2A. The winner will play the winner of tonight's game in the Metroplex between McGregor and Salina. Second down and 9 needed. Handoff Sanchez. He's wrapped up by number 79, Jay Clark. Chad Gosnell has really yet to make much of a dent in this ball game so far. He's been pretty well kept in check by the Quanah Indians. Of course, the Goz, as we've called him here on our broadcast, has been a big star so far in the ball games we've seen against Anson and Stanton here at Shotwell Stadium. 3rd and 5 now for the Quanah Indians at about the 27-yard line of the Eastland Mavericks. Knight in at quarterback, wants to throw, and it's going to be over the head of the intended receiver, Williams. He was covered by Adamez and Raiford Rattan defensively for the Eastland Mavs.
Just purely overthrown that ball, but Rattan and Adamez were there in good coverage.
That will make it a 4th down play now. 4th and just over 5 needed for the first down for the Quanah Indians at the 27 of the Eastland Mavericks. 9:21 left to go, 3rd quarter, and now we've got a timeout on the field. Let's take it with them with 9:21 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Our score, Eastland 7, Quanah 7. Football 88 will continue in a moment on KTAB.
You'd think a duplexing copier with the widest zoom range for its price. One with a sorter and document feeder would have to be pretty big. Think again. The Minolta 415Z. You could say they met at the office, and now that they've been together for so long, we thought they should be married. The Minolta 251, the wedding of the copier, the telephone, and the fax.
Call the Stephen Company, this area's authorized Minolta dealer.
BC Construction, owned and operated by Bob Carroll, has been serving Eastland County for over 30 years. BC Construction has the heavy equipment to do the job, like road construction or general oil field construction. And BC Construction is fully insured and bonded with qualified personnel for any size job. BC Construction is also an enthusiastic supporter of the Eastland Mavericks and wish the red and black best of luck. For all of your construction needs, call BC Construction, supporting the Eastland Mavericks. For the right parts and everything else, make your first stop at Magnum's Parts Plus in Eastland. At Magnum's Auto Parts, you'll find a wide selection to choose from. And if we don't have it in stock, you can't believe how fast we can get it. And Magnum's Auto Parts is Eastland County's dealer for the Parts Plus franchise for even better selection. When you need auto parts, get the right parts from Magnum's Parts Plus in Eastland, next to the Sonic on Highway 80 East. Eastland's new dealer for Parts Plus is Magnum's. We're leading the way to state for Eastland and the future farmers of America. The Eastland High School chapter of Future Farmers wishes best of luck to the Mavericks. The future farmers of Eastland have led the way with excellence, hard work, and determination. That hard work and determination has had its rewards for the Eastland High School chapter and will continue to do so at the state meet in Huntsville. So our team is behind the Mavericks because we know what it takes to win. From one winner to another, go Mavs, from the future farmers of Eastland High School.
The Eastland Mavericks, on a 4th down situation, have got their defense huddled around their coaches. Like we were saying, the winner of this ball game will play either McGregor or Salina next week in the state semifinals. That ball game between McGregor and Salina is being played tonight, or Friday night, at Pennington Field in the Hurst-Bedford area over in the Metroplex.
David, the Maverick players are exhorting the Maverick fans to come on, let's go, get some noise going. That's don't be lackadaisical about it. We need your help.
Well, it is a 4th down, just over 5 needed for Quanah at the 27-yard line of the Eastland Mavericks.
And the fans respond.
Fans on both sides of the field respond. Good crowd here to watch this Class 2A quarterfinal ball game tonight. Knight Keats after the fake handoff. He's got the first down inside the 20-yard line to about the 16. Brought down by Morris. He faked the handoff to Dickens, then cut around the left side to pick up the first down for the Quanah Indians. And that's another penetration for Quanah to the 16 of the Mavs.
David, that play is also indicative of what's been going on tonight. Gosnell is almost there. I mean, just literally there to make the tackle. Misses the tackle, the play goes for a big gain. Chad is nearly in on a lot of plays, but not been able to complete them.
Is that three penetrations now for the Quanah Indians? Eastland's only got 1 penetration. Handoff, Williams, 15, 10, tripped up at about the 7-yard line by Morris. John Morris, very active defensively right now for the Eastland Mavericks. That's not a good sign when a cornerback is making a lot of tackles for you.
The toss counter handback that time to Morris coming back through and got over there, and just a great job by Morris to make the tackle because he had a big block on him. Sprawling tackle, needed it.
They're going to say a gain of about 9 yards on that carry. 2nd down and 1. Quanah at the 6.5-yard line of the Eastland Mavericks. Handoff, Williams. He's got the first down. It'll be 1st and goal at the 2-yard line. Petrie with the tackle for the Eastland Mavericks. But Quanah has got a very serious scoring threat at the 2 of the Eastland Mavericks.
1st and goal, David.
8:38 left to go, third quarter. It is a 7-7 ball game, but Quanah is threatening to take the lead for the first time. Williams, 4 carries for 44 yards so far. Williams, number 30 for the Quanah Indians. Hand off. They go nowhere.
Gosnell. No, it wasn't Gosnell either. It was Ricky Petrie.
Also there, getting up in the bottom of the stack, is going to be Jeff Bird. The ball carrier was Setrick Dickens. Checking into the ball game, we've got Mahaffey, number 99, for the Eastland Mavericks. Jerry Paul Mahaffey in the ball game. Checking out is going to be Williamson.
Another junior.
Second and goal. Loss of about a yard on that play. Second and goal for Quanah at the 3 of the Eastland Mavericks. Williams, the man in motion, handoff Dickens, and he's in for the touchdown.
Untouched.
Dickens with his second touchdown of the night, his 40th touchdown of the season for the Quanah Indians. And for the first time in our ball game, the Indians lead the Eastland Mavericks.
4-minute, 16-second drive.
And they take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and march right downfield. And remember, Dickens not only runs the ball, but he kicks the ball for these Quanah Indians. As a matter of fact, he's responsible for all the points on the scoreboard. And right now, there are 14 of them for the Quanah Indians. Our new score in the ball game, Quanah 14, Eastland 7. Football 88 will continue in a moment on KTAB.
EBA Iron is an innovative manufacturer of joint restraint systems for the water and wastewater industry. EBA's leading products are the patented Megalug and Flex-10, systems designed to restrain and protect pipelines from unexpected motion.
EBA Iron, helping build a stronger community.
You know the Metroplex, but for quality at affordable prices, shop the Microplex, Eastland County.
If you're tired of overpriced cars and want a fair deal, come to Caldwell Motor Company in Eastland. Caldwell Motor Company can sell you a truck or car for less, simply because their overhead is lower, and the selection is great. They're the authorized dealer for Oldsmobile, Pontiac, Buick, GMC, and Cadillac. Shop and save at Caldwell Motor Company.
Shop the Microplex, Eastland County.
Eastland National Bank, a full-service friendly bank, is proud to be a part of the growth of Eastland. The Eastland National Bank is behind the red and black Eastland Mavericks in the 1988 high school playoffs. Eastland National Bank and the people of Eastland are proud of the Mavericks for another playoff appearance. So go get 'em, Mavs. For a full-service, friendly hometown bank, think of Eastland National Bank, where you're always greeted with a smile. Banking like it should be, friendly. At Eastland National Bank, member FDIC. Hood King Ford Mercury in Eastland wants to know, have you driven a Ford lately? Well, if you haven't, come see the new 1989 Ford and Mercuries that have just arrived. You'll find additional saving at Hood King as we celebrate 50 years as Eastland County's Ford and Mercury dealer. Hood King has in stock the exciting Tempo, Taurus, and versatile Aerostar vans, and Texas' favorite, the tough Ford pickups. See Hood King for quality selection of used cars, too. For personal service, it's Hood King Ford in Eastland, celebrating 50 years of service.
Our score, 14-7, in favor of the Quanah Indians with 7:44 left to go in the third quarter. A 10-play, 69-yard drive for Quanah. Time of possession, 4 minutes, 16 seconds. We talked so much about Setrick Dickens, but on that drive, the story was Anthony Williams. He picked up 42 yards of that drive of the 69 that it took for Quanah to get on the scoreboard.
Well, they're keying on Setrick Dickens, you know, and they've got to have somebody that they can go to like Williams, and they did, and it was very effective for him because Eastland was a keying on Dickens so bad that Williams just became untouched and came free on a lot of plays.
Teeing the ball up for the Quanah Indians is going to be Trenton Boyd. Short kick. Finally picked up by Rattan with the return out to about the 30-yard line. Raiford Rattan with the return Why don't you start off with that Eastland Maverick offense for us, as Trenton Boyd made the tackle there for the Quanah Indians.
Left tackle for the Eastland Mavericks, Jeff Bird. Left guard, Brian Orms. Terry Jones, the center. Jay Clark at right guard. Eric Farmer at right tackle. Tight end is Joe Williamson. Benji Adam as a wide receiver. Philip Montgomery as a quarterback. Tracy Messenger as a running back. Raiford Rattan at running back. And wide receivers Richard High.
We'll go over that Quanah defense for you in just a moment. First down and 10 for the Mavs at the 31-yard line. Handoff goes up the middle to Tracy Messenger, and what a determined run by the senior fullback, 5'7", 150-pound senior, brought down by Isabel Sanchez. Sanchez and Chris Ross are the two linebackers in the 5-2 defense for Quanah. The front five include Craig Brinkerhoff, J.B. Duncan, Antoine Williams, Trenton Boyd, and Craig Horton. The safeties are Jeff Knight and Chris Milliken. The cornerbacks are Setrick Dickens and Jim Muncrief. Quarterback keeps, pitches out to Rattan, and he's going to go out of bounds at about the 47-yard line of the Quanah Indians. Montgomery with an excellent running of the option play to pick up the first down for the Eastland Mavericks to the 47-yard line of Quanah.
Great heads-up play with that junior signal caller for Eastland. That time he made a great job of hiding the ball, getting outside on the defense, and then biding as much time as he possibly could, drawing the coverage to him, and then flipping it out to Raiford Rattan. Too bad he stepped out of bounds because Knight missed him. All he had a lot of, well, I was going to say green grass in front of him, David.
A lot of grass, let's put it that way.
A lot of grass in front of him.
First down and 10 for Eastland. As the handoff up the middle goes to Rattan, flags are down. He's going to be downed in the vicinity of the 42-yard line, but remember, flags are down. J.B. Duncan, a 220-pound senior, with the tackle for the Quanah Indians.
Jay Clark put J.B. Duncan.
Illegal motion on the offense.
Jay Clark put J.B. Duncan on wheels and was moving him backwards.
So that will be a 5-yard mark-off against Eastland. Remember, in the opening drive for Eastland, they got flagged 3 times for 15 yards and penalties, but still were able to march 83 yards with the opening possession to go ahead early in the game.
We got an illegal motion on the offense. We'll replay first down.
Ferguson is now in for Duncan at left tackle.
Okay. Morris goes out wide to the right side. We've got Messenger and Raiford Rattan in the backfield behind Montgomery. Handoff is going to be to Sanderson. Sanderson is down to about the 47-yard line, brought down by Craig Horton, 175-pound junior for Quanah. And Jeff Knight also there defensively for the Quanah Ball Club. Pickup of about 7 yards on that last carry. Second down and just over 8 needed for the first down. The line of scrimmage, the Quanah 46-yard line. 6:15 left to go, third quarter. Quanah leading the Eastland Mavericks 14-7. Pitch back goes to Raiford Rattan. He is to the 30. He's to the 20. He's to the 10. He is going to go out of bounds at the 6-yard line. What a run by Raiford Rattan, and now Eastland is just 6 yards away from tying this ball game up.
David, super run by Raiford Rattan. He had to pick his way through the traffic, get down, and then just barely stepped out of bounds at the 6. I thought he was in for the touchdown.
Let's look at it again on instant replay. What a run by Raiford Rattan to give Eastland a first and goal at the 6 of Quanah. And that's going to be 2 penetrations in our ball game now for the Eastland Mavericks. 6:02 left to go, third quarter. We're back to live action. Rattan, the ball carrier, inside the 5 to about the 4. Raiford Rattan, who came into this ball game with more than 2,000 yards of total offense this season, brought down by Trenton Boyd. Of course, it was a 6-yard run by Raiford Rattan on the opening drive that gave Eastland its only points so far in this ball game. 5:37 left to go, third quarter. Second and goal for Eastland at the 4 of the Quanah Indians. Montgomery, the man under, handoff, Rattan. Rattan's in.
Yes, sir. Great block out there by Brian Orms on the force man. Opens up a big hole for Rattan, and Rattan takes it right in.
And the Eastland Mavericks answer the Quanah Indians. Eastland fell behind for the first time in our ball game at 14-7. They come right back with a long touchdown drive of their own.
Well-executed drive, too, and all Raiford Rattan on that drive.
Raiford Rattan with his second touchdown of the night, his 10th touchdown in the last 4 weeks in the state playoffs. The kick by Williamson, and we're back to a tie ball game.
Great confidence builder that time for the Eastland Mavericks. They had everything to lose by, stalling and giving the ball back to Quanah, because Quanah is eating huge amounts of clock every drive that they make. They took it down, scored. Now it's a tie ball game. Starting over.
We'll keep it here at the stadium. That was a 6-play, 69-yard drive for the Eastland Mavericks. Time of possession, 2:13. Out of the 69 yards of that drive, Raiford Rattan had 63 of them.
Okay.
Talk about what this will do now for Eastland's confidence, which had to be a little bit on the shaky side, trailing 14-7.
They've got a lot of things going for them right now. I'm telling you right now, Chad Gosnell is just inches away from making big plays in the defensive backfield with quarterback and hand it off. He's just there. He's just not quite been able to finish a play. But with the past few weeks we've got to watch him play. The fourth quarter is his quarter. I'm hoping that comes to light tonight.
Raiford Rattan, 16 carries for 103 yards in this ball game. He has scored both of the touchdowns for the Eastland Mavericks. Setrick Dickens has scored both of the touchdowns in this ball game for Quanah. So the two big running backs for these ball clubs have lived up to their advanced billing coming in to this state quarterfinal ball game. We're back to a 14-14 tie. Dickens handles the ball. 20, 25, look out. Only one man can stop him, and that's Raiford Rattan, and Rattan hauls him down at the 32-yard line of Eastland.
Middle return for Quanah, just blazes through the opening in the middle, David, and it's all Rattan can do to stop him. Thank goodness it's Rattan back there, because he's the only one with the speed that can catch him.
So Quanah gets great field position to start this drive. What a ball game.
63-yard kickoff return that time by Dickens.
Well, oh my. Last week when Quanah was here against De Leon, they had a seesaw ball game that Quanah finally won 24-22 on a field goal by Setrick Dickens with 18 seconds left to go in the ball game. We could be in store for a barn burner tonight. 5:15 left to go, third quarter, 14-14 tie. Quanah versus Eastland as the handoff goes to Sanchez, and the fullback barrels his way down inside the 30 to about the 27-yard line. Sanderson along with Adamez in on the tackle for the Eastland Mavericks.
I'll tell you, the offensive line, I want to go over that one more time. Quanah is doing a heck of a job. We haven't been calling that many defensive linemen's numbers tonight on the tackles being made.
Pickup of 6 on that carry for Isabel Sanchez. Line of scrimmage, the 27-yard line of the Eastland Mavericks. Dickens, the ball carrier at the 20. Finally chopped down over on the far side of the field by Philip Montgomery. And he's going to be in for another penetration to the 18-yard line of the Eastland Mavericks. Now, I think that's going to be 4 penetrations now for Quanah compared to 2 for the Eastland Mavericks. Poppy Escobedo coming into the ball game, taking the place of Ricky Petrie defensively now for the Eastland Mavericks. Boy, when you see Petrie run off the field, 6'1", 200 pounds, and he's only a junior for Eastland. What havoc will he wreak next year, or wreck rather, as far as the playoffs are concerned? As the handoff, quarterback sneak. Quarterback sneak up the middle by Jeff Knight inside the 15 to about the 14 of the Eastland Mavericks, brought down by Jeff Bird.
Jeff Bird stayed home. That was a great job by him, because that could have been a big play for the Quanah Indians, and he made the stop. Of course, it was about a 5-yard gain. Could have been a lot more. Could have been a touchdown.
Messenger Petrie back into the ball game now. Coming out, we've got Escobedo and Montgomery. 2nd down and 5 for Quanah. The 14-yard line of Eastland is the line of scrimmage. Dickens, the ball carrier. Finally brought down by Raiford Rattan at the 8-yard line. And that's going to be close for a first down for the Quanah Indians. Raiford Rattan, who made the touchdown-saving tackle of Dickens just a few moments ago on the kickoff.
Well, it seems like Quanah does all of their running game between the hash marks in the middle of the field. They don't ever seem like they get very wide because of the great cutting ability and the ability for Dickens to hit a hole inside and cut it outside and back against the grain so well.
In at right defensive end, Eric Farmer taking the place of Brian Orms for the Eastland Mavs. First and goal. And the ball carrier goes nowhere. Boy, big stack up at about the 8-yard line. Dickens, the ball carrier, brought down by Tracy Messenger for the Eastland Mavericks. It'll be second and goal for Quanah. Actually, Tommy, they might have lost a yard on that play. Quanah has got 6 first downs in this third quarter, and we've still got 2:46 left to go.
And they burned a lot of clock.
But we've got a tie ball game. Dickens, the ball carrier, inside the 5 to about the 4-yard line of Eastland. Petrie there, along with Eric Farmer, defensively for the Eastland Mavericks. 2.5 minutes left to go in the third quarter.
Had a takedown that time by the offensive guard, Trent Boyd, on Chad Gosnell. I'm surprised the referee didn't see it. He was looking right at the action.
It brings up a third and goal now for Quanah, just inside the 5-yard line of the Eastland Mavericks. Good crowd on hand to watch this Class 2A quarterfinal ball game tonight. Pitchback goes to Dickens. He sheds tacklers down to about the 1-yard line of Eastland. But there is a flag down on the play. Tracy Messenger finally knocks him down short of the goal line. But remember, there are flags down on the play. Raiford Rattan instead of Messenger in on the tackle for Eastland just then. And let's see if we can pick up the signal from a referee on what the penalty is.
We've got an illegal procedure.
They tried to catch the Mavericks off guard that time, David, it seemed like, and didn't work out. Tracy Messenger was almost, almost just inches away from stopping that play in the backfield, and, of course, great speed by Dickens gets away from him.
They mark off the penalty that'll bring the ball back to about the 10-yard line of Eastland. Minute 59 left to go in the third quarter.
We got an illegal procedure on the offense. Be third down again.
Third down for Quanah at the 10-yard line of Eastland. Third and goal for the Indians. Jeff Knight is their quarterback. Sanchez and Dickens in the backfield behind him. Knight throws into the end zone, too tall for the intended receiver, Jason Swindell. Eric Farmer with some great defensive play just then for Eastland.
Levels the quarterback Knight. Just as he released the ball, the quarterback just literally had to get rid of it and took a big hit from Eric Farmer blitzing from the outside.
So they're going to make an apparent field goal try. Knight 1 of 5 in our ball game for 15 yards of passing. Dickens is going to make an apparent 28-yard field goal try. Remember, he had a 24-yarder last week to beat De Leon. The kick is blocked. The kick is blocked by the Eastland Mavericks. Our score remains at 14-14. What a game tonight here at P.E. Shotwell Stadium.
They should have let the ball go that time, David. On the block, it would have probably gone out to the 20-yard line, and they could have instead of back at the 7 or the 8.
Well, you can't tell that to a youngster, though, after a blocked field goal.
No.
We can sit up here. It's easy for us up here, but when you're in the heat of the battle, I'm sure when he sees that ball floating up there lazily, he wants to grab it and be a hero. So the Eastland Mavericks deny the Quanah Indians. Our score remains 14-14 after the blocked field goal. Fumbled snap from center. The ball is on the ground at the 5-yard line, and let's see who's got it. Quanah seems to think that they've got it, but we have yet to get an official designation from the referee.
Sanchez got up with it. They must have said the ball was dead.
Eastland's going to retain possession back at their own 5-yard line. Boy, Eastland fans are breathing a big sigh of relief, and you can hear the Quanah fans booing over on the far side. Minute 6 left to go in our third quarter of a 14-14 ball game. But remember, if we end in a 14-14 tie, Quanah will advance to the state semifinals. They lead on penetrations 4-2. Montgomery hands off Raiford. Rattan wrapped up at the 5-yard line. In on the tackle, we've got Trenton Boyd. Also there, Craig Horton defensively for the Quanah Indians. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Eastland has got two sides of relief. One, the field goal was blocked, and then also that that fumble was not covered by Quanah.
You know, all this ball game, the two PATs that Dickens has had successfully, they were low line drive kind of kicks. And if I read the description of the field goal last week that beat DeLeon, it was the fact it was not a thing of beauty. It just did the job. As the pass is complete to Adamez, goes out of bounds at the 17-yard line of Eastland.
Great move that time by Adamez, faking inside and coming back around, just froze number 58, Jim Moncrief, and picked up that first down.
No, I think he's going to be a little bit short of what he needs for the first down, Tommy, but at least he gives Eastland a little breathing room as far as trying to punt the ball. And what little wind we do have, the wind is keeping Old Glory very limp at the north end of the stadium. So as Anthony Williams goes back deep to receive the punt for Quanah, the Indians should come out of this with good field position as they get the punt off. And it's going to be killed by the Eastland Mavericks in the vicinity of about the 50-yard line.
I think the punt was partially blocked.
The boos you're hearing are from the Eastland fans who thought that a running into the punter penalty should have been called against Quanah, but no flag is down. We've got the end of our third quarter of play at P.E. Shotwell Stadium. Our score, Eastland 14, Quanah 14. Football 88, and what should be a great fourth quarter will continue in a moment on KTAB.
Let the Buddy Aaron team be the winning team for your life insurance needs. Trust the professionals in Eastland's most progressive insurance agency. The friendly staff at Buddy Aaron offer complete insurance services from life, health, home, and auto. Buddy Aaron also offers 20 years experience as an independent agent and as a representative of E.F. Hutton Life. Put the winning team to work for you and call the man with a plan. Call the Buddy Aaron Insurance Agency for your complete insurance needs.
If you look good, you'll feel great. And you can find that great feeling at Images Hair Design in Eastland. Let the friendly folks at Images help you look and feel great with a design from Images. And step next door and look sharp with a monogrammed shirt or cap from Monograms by Cher. Monograms by Cher offers custom lettering and embroidery. So look good and feel great after stopping in at Images Hair Designs and Monograms by Cher, Highway 80 East in Eastland.
For almost 40 years, Cheney Gas Company has served Eastland and surrounding counties. Cheney Gas Company offers fast, dependable service with their radio-equipped trucks for their customers. Cheney Gas Company will provide you with propane for your home, vehicles, or your barbecue tank. Come by Cheney Gas Company, 708 West Main, and visit. The coffee's always on, and always a friendly greeting at Cheney Gas Company in Eastland, where your support is appreciated for a great year in 1988.
You don't have to be a farmer to be able to enjoy the personal service you can get from Jim Kennedy and Farm Bureau Insurance. Jim Kennedy and Farm Bureau Insurance offer you one of the top 10 insurance companies for coverage. And you'll like the Farm Bureau kind of service you receive when you give them a call. So put the Farm Bureau Insurance team to work for your home, life, auto, or even farm insurance needs. Call today. You'll love the personalized service you'll receive from Farm Bureau Insurance, Eastland.
Need to make a small correction. I said the punt was down in the vicinity of the 50-yard line. They're going to say that it's actually down in the vicinity of the 40. So Quanah will start the fourth quarter with the wind at their back, and they'll have the ball at the 40-yard line of the Eastland Mavericks. And I know we've had some good ball games this year on KTAB. We had a terrific ball game between Abilene High and San Angelo late in the season. When Abilene High played Cooper, it was a great big crowd and everybody was into it. But I'm not for sure this might not be the best high school game that you and I have had the opportunity to broadcast this year, Tommy.
But it's so exciting, you know, because, David, if it comes down to a tie, you can play for a tie now if you're Quanah because you're ahead on penetration.
Well, according to the count we have here, Quanah leads on penetrations 4-2. And remember, that is the first tiebreaker if this ball game ends in a tie.
I'm sorry. I hate that system of breaking ties in high school football. Why not have some type of sudden death system where where the kids determine it, not the statistics?
I've seen that instituted in the state of Missouri, where you got the ball at your opponent's 10-yard line and you got 4 downs to get some kind of a score. Then you took it down to the other 10-yard line and you got the ball. So that worked really well. As a matter of fact, I did a ball game where we had 3 sudden death periods using that kind of a system. It was a great finish to a ball game up there. 1st and 10 for Quanah. Dickens, no, this is Sanchez, the ball carrier. Sanchez picks up 5 yards from the 40 to the 35 of the Eastland Mavericks, brought down by Jeff Boyd. And Jeff is the president, I believe, of the Eastland FFA, one of the sponsors for our broadcast tonight. I think it's great that we've got one student section sponsoring another student section at Eastland High School.
I can't imagine any town getting so caught up with their football team as the Eastland Mavericks. And I think it's a great tribute to the success that they've had in the past, David.
2nd down, just over 5 needed for Quanah at the 35.5-yard line. Handoff goes to Dickens. He's got the 1st down to the 27-yard line. There is Philip Montgomery to make the tackle. Sanchez has carried 5 times for 21 yards to help spell Dickens some in this offensive attack for the Quanah Indians in tonight's quarterfinal state playoff ball game in Class 2A. 1st down for Quanah. They're going to spot the ball at the Eastland 28-yard line. 11-14 left to go in our ball game. It's all tied 14-14. And we've got a lot of fans on their feet watching this game now on both sides of the field. Knight with the pitch back to Dickens. Cuts upfield or tries to at the 25-yard line, and he's brought down by Raiford Rattan. And Raiford Rattan, in a good show of sportsmanship, helps up his opposite number from the Quanah Indians.
Well, can't think of anybody from the Eastland that I'd rather have out there one-on-one with Setrick Dickens.
Well, he saved a touchdown just earlier in this half of play after Eastland tied the ball game. It was Raiford Rattan who made a touchdown-saving tackle, and eventually Quanah had to try for a field goal that was blocked to keep our score at 14-14. 2nd down and 7. Handoff goes to Dickens, and a shoestring tackle that is going to be Brent Sanderson.
Great job by Sanderson.
Sanderson, 5'9", 165-pound sophomore in the ball game for the Eastland Mavs at middle linebacker.
Sanderson also a junior, David?
Sophomore.
A sophomore. Coach's son.
Exactly. Gain of 2 on that last carry. 3rd and 4 now for Quanah at the 22-yard line of Eastland. Jeff Knight in at quarterback for Quanah. Handoff, well, who else? Dickens. And I don't know, he's going to be close for 1st down yardage at the 18-yard line of Eastland. That's going to be another penetration for Quanah. If our figures are right, I think that's going to be 5 now for the Indians in our ball game. They've got a decided edge in our contest as far as penetrations are concerned.
They're bringing out the chains. I think they're going to measure.
It's got to be close when they're on that side of the field, and they got to bring the chain in from there. 9:40 left to go in our ball game. Stretch of the chain, just inches short. It was so close, even our eagle-eye statistician, Dave Robinette, would not even offer an idea if it was going to be short or not.
He's pretty opinionated about stuff like that.
Well, he's opinionated. I don't know, pretty's the word I'd want to use. 9:40 left to go in our ball game. Dave Robinette has done our stats all year. What a great job he's done up here in the booth. Good job in the truck by Keith Johnson, Leland Olhausen, Wayne Roy, Scooter Rolfs, Mike Claspel, and Kenny Gregg, our crew here tonight for K-Tap doing the ball game. I'm sorry, I should have said Scooter Rolfs first.
That's right.
9:40 left to go, 4th quarter. 4th down.
It's not Keith Jackson, though, right, David?
No, it's Keith Johnson. Quarterback sneak, and he apparently has got the 1st down. Knight on the quarterback sneak, and from our vantage point, it looks like Quanah has got the 1st down to about the 17 of the Eastland Mavericks.
Brian Orms was there with the tackle, along with number 3. Tracy Messenger.
And it is a first down for Quanah. Quanah is coached by Jim Wood in his 10th year with the Indians. This is the furthest he's ever coached Quanah into the state playoffs. Wood, a graduate of Oklahoma State. That might be one reason why Dickens is being so highly recruited by Oklahoma State. First down and 10 for Quanah at the 17-yard line. Man in motion is Williams. Pitchback goes to Dickens, gets away from Sanderson. Dickens is going to go in for the touchdown. He just sort of waltzed in once he got to the 5-yard line. Dickens with his 3rd touchdown of the night for the Quanah Indians, his 37th of the year rushing, his 41st of the season overall. A veritable scoring machine for these Quanah Indians.
Lots of talent.
16-yard touchdown run has given Quanah the lead again at 20-14. And look who's in to attempt the extra point. Setrick Dickens. Can he make it 21 on the night? Yes. Our new score in the ball game. Setrick Dickens 21, the Eastland Mavericks 14. Football 88 will continue in a moment on KTAB.
Eastland Drug can meet your prescription needs, and they offer you 24-hour delivery service. Stop in and enjoy a cool drink at their old-fashioned soda fountain, and while you're there, browse through their selection of cards, cosmetics, and fragrances. And don't forget the Gold Lantern with bridal registry and an excellent gift selection for birthdays and anniversaries or just because. The Gold Lantern carries dinnerware, stainless and silver plate flatware, and lead crystal gift items. Eastland Drug and the Gold Lantern, a must for shopping in Eastland.
With over 20 years of experience, you know you can trust Rossander Insurance for all of your needs. West Texas has grown to respect Richard Rossander and the Rossander Agency for auto, home, life, health, commercial, along with specializing in petrochemical insurance. Another fine professional you can depend on is Barbara Rossander, also qualified and experienced to serve you, your family, or your company's needs. Stop by and see for yourself the Rossander Insurance Agency in Eastland.
Moore Fuel Company in Eastland is your distributor for Gulf Chevron lubricants and fuel. Call Moore Fuel for bulk gasoline sales, bulk diesel sales, or oil in the quart, gallon, or 55-gallon drum. Moore Fuel Company also will serve your needs through your neighborhood Gulf Chevron service stations or the Moore's own station at 501 Main in Eastland. For top-quality Gulf Chevron products, don't settle for less. Call Moore Fuel Company at 629-2884. Moore Fuel Company in Eastland. If you want to see the best football played in Texas, go to Eastland Maverick Stadium next door to the offices of R.M. Sneed General Contractor. And if you're wanting to know who will do you the best job, see Howard Maynard. Whatever type of pipeline you need, Sneed's construction crews will show you how they've earned the reputation as one of Texas' best. Since 1948, R.M. Sneed General Contractor has done general oil field construction and steel or polyethylene pipe placement. Go with a winner. Go with R.M. Sneed General Contractor next to Maverick Stadium in Eastland.
Quanah has regained the lead at 21-14 over the Eastland Mavericks. A 6-play, 40-yard drive. Time of possession, 2:57. 16-yard run by Setrick Dickens as Quanah regains the lead at 21-14 in our ball game over the Eastland Mavericks tonight here at P.E. Shotwell Stadium. And as far as the fans are concerned, everybody's in this ball game on both sides of the field.
Standing at attention. Seems like every fan on both sides of the field are standing and giving each team all their support.
Well, and you get this level, you realize out of all the high schools playing in the state of Texas, only 8 teams are still alive this late in the season. You got to give hats off to whoever wins this ball game. In the meantime, take nothing away from whoever will be our eventual loser. It's been a tremendous season for both of these ball clubs, and just to reach this level is quite an achievement for either squad. 9:03 left to go, fourth quarter. 7-point lead for the visitors from Red River Country. Short kick, and it's going to go out of bounds in the vicinity of about the 35-yard line. So we'll do it all over again.
I'll take it right there.
And I don't know, do you have a chance I don't know if you get to decline that penalty.
I think they should allow that.
Well,
Be allowed to make the extra point, too.
well, maybe.
First down, right there.
They said they'll take it right there.
All right, I don't blame them.
We have an illegal procedure over here. Decline. First down.
Well, if you're Eastland, you got the ball at the 35-yard line. That's a good spot to start it. As we've got 9:03 left to go in our ball game. Eastland trailing by a touchdown. Terry Jones breaks out of that huddle. He's number 50. He's over the ball.
They've got a unbalanced line to this side that time, Dave.
And off to Rattan, and he gets 4 yards out to the 39-yard line before he's upended by Chris Milliken. Also there, Isabel Sanchez. You know, Sanchez has played a pretty good ball game for Quanah tonight, number 44 for these Quanah Indians.
Craig Brinkerhoff was we really called his name a lot early. We haven't heard much of him. Of course, Eastland hadn't had the ball much this whole second half.
Of course, whoever wins this ball game advances to the state semifinals next week to meet either McGregor or Salina.
Unbalanced line to the left.
Okay. And they're going to go the other way. Handoff is going to go to Rattan. Goes out of bounds in the vicinity of the 44-yard line. About a yard short of what they need for the first down. Chris Brinkerhoff, a 185-pound sophomore, along with Setrick Dickens, chases Rattan out of bounds at the 44 of Eastland. And by going out of bounds, he stops the clock with 8:23 left to go in our fourth quarter.
Eastland's trying to set something up with that unbalanced line.
And there are some of the Eastland students cheering their football team on here at Shotwell Stadium tonight. Well, you couldn't ask for a prettier night for football. It is a bit on the cool side, but just excellent football weather as the handoff goes to Rattan, and he's got the first down for Eastland out to the 48-yard line.
Behind big Jay Clark and Brian Orms over there on the power side of Eastland's running attack. Gets a big first down.
Of course, if Eastland is able to successfully culminate this drive with a touchdown, they're way behind on penetrations. 3 first downs
That's
now?
the third first down for Eastland in this half.
That gives them, I think, 10 in the ball game, if I'm not mistaken. Montgomery still has the ball.
Throwback.
And it's complete. Williamson, the tight end, with the catch, going out of bounds at the 29-yard line of the Quanah Indians. Jeff Knight socks him out of bounds, but not before it is a first down for these Eastland Mavericks.
What a great time to come back to that play. It was very effective for him in the first half. That throwback, tight end throwback to Williamson. He catches the ball. Good pass by Montgomery. Gets down into the territory of the Quanah Indians.
Williamson has already had some taste of playoff glory. Of course, he had a touchdown catch versus Anson a couple of weeks ago here at Shotwell Stadium. Handoff. This is Messenger. Good determined run by the fullback, carrying players with him. J.B. Duncan finally rides him down, but not before he gets to about the 23-yard line of the Quanah Indians. 7:45 left to go in our ball game. Clock is rolling. Eastland trailing by 7 points, 21-14. Quanah leading. Morris comes out wide to the right side. Man in motion is Chris Vernon, who had a touchdown catch against Anson as well. They throw across the middle, and it's intercepted by Jeff Knight. The third interception that Montgomery has thrown in this ball game. I think the intended receiver was Vernon. And for Jeff Knight, I think that's his third interception of the night.
Threw it into heavy coverage. Looks like four Quanah Indians right there in that area. And, of course, Jeff Knight, center fielder, made another big interception, the third one of the night.
And for Jeff Knight, if I'm not mistaken, you know, last week he had a 56-yard interception return for a touchdown versus De Leon. 160-pound senior with the interception. We think his third of the night for the Quanah Indians. And boy, there is a very dejected Philip Montgomery walking off the field. 7:20 left to go in our ball game. Quanah leading 21-14 over these gritty and determined Eastland Mavericks. Handoff Dickens. He's finally brought down by Raiford Rattan, but he's in the vicinity of a first down at about the 29-yard line of Quanah over on the far side of the field.
They've gone to a 4-3 defense with Ben Cohen in their middle linebacker and moved Sanderson out to outside linebacker.
There's Raiford Rattan. Boy, he's played his heart out here tonight. Both of those touchdowns on the scoreboard for Eastland have been touchdown runs by Raiford Rattan. Dickens 36 carries for 206 yards in this ball game. He has scored all 21 points in this ball game for these Quanah Indians. It is a first down and 10 for Quanah. The handoff, this is going to be Williams. He gets away from one tackler, and he's on the loose at the 50. And he's going to be finally brought down by Adam Miz at the 44 of the Eastland Mavericks.
A toss handback again. That play that hurt the Eastland earlier in the second quarter. And back to haunt him again.
Earlier this week, Coach Wood of Quanah told me his players were such in good shape. Very well conditioned, he thought, was one of the real pluses for the Quanah Indians. I'm not for sure we might not have seen that on that play.
Sure did. And, you know, Dave, Eastland's defense has been on the field. I don't know how many plays Eastland has run from scrimmage in this half, but they have been on the field seems like the whole second half.
First down and 10 for Quanah at the 44 of the Eastland Mavericks with 6.5 minutes left to go in our ball game. Dickens, the ball carrier, and he's gone.
Raiford missed it.
Touchdown, Dickens, his 4th of the night. His 42nd touchdown of the season. And it's now 11 first downs in this half for the Quanah Indians. That just might be the final nail in the coffin for Eastland with 6:22 left to go in the ball game.
To get down in deep in Quanah territory, throw the interception and roughly about 3 plays and they score. That's really going to hurt Eastland.
44-yard touchdown run for Setrick Dickens, and that's going to put him in the vicinity of nearly 250 yards on the ground. Dickens in to attempt the extra point. The kick is good. Setrick Dickens with all 28 points in this ball game for the Quanah Indians as they've now doubled up the Eastland Mavericks. Our new score, Quanah 28, the Eastland Mavericks 14. 6:22 left to go in our ball game. Football 88 will continue in a moment on KTAB.
With over 50 years of experience, you know your car will be fixed right at Scott Paint and Body Works. Scott Paint and Body Works, 300 West Commerce in Eastland, knows how to fix your car or pickup and fix it right. Their professionals tend to every detail just like it was their own personal car instead of a customer's. Let Sam Beggs and his crew at Scott Paint and Body Works show you what they mean with quality workmanship, or ask your neighbor about Scott Paint and Body in Eastland. Higginbotham Bartlett Company, 313 West Main in Eastland is your fix-em-up, paint-em-up, and build-em-up headquarters. There's great prices throughout the store on quality tools and materials at Higginbotham Bartlett. Shop Higginbotham Bartlett for Jones Blair paints. You'll find a rainbow of colors, along with Jones Blair quality. And when you stop by, look at the new electrical section for all of your wiring needs. We're here to serve you at Higginbotham Bartlett, 313 West Main in Eastland.
When you're a winner, you've worked hard to earn due respect, the respect that was hard fought for, like the state championship title the Eastland Mavericks brought home in 1982. Another winner in Eastland for over 20 years is Moylan Construction. Moylan Construction respected for quality work and on-time completion, whether it be oil or gas pipeline. Call Moylan Construction for your pipeline needs, and you can be proud of a job well done like Eastland is of the Mavericks.
Thrift Mart Supermarket in Eastland says, "Go Mavericks!" Thrift Mart in Eastland features garden fresh fruits and vegetables in their produce department. Top quality fresh meats in their up-to-date market, along with great prices. You'll also find fresh pastries in the Eastland Thrift Mart Bake Shop. And look to Thrift Mart for quality, sure-find labeled products throughout the store. Thrift Mart Supermarket in Eastland, an affiliated food store, bringing their best to Eastland.
There's the Eastland Mavericks bench. They're trailing 28-14 in our ball game tonight here at P.E. Shotwell Stadium as the Quanah Indians have fed Eastland a steady dose of Setrick Dickens, and he has lived up to the advanced billing that we had. Let's see, he has now got more than 2,500 yards. He's got to be approaching 2,600 yards of rushing this year for the Quanah Indians. He has scored 42 touchdowns, and he has got 4 of them tonight against the Eastland Mavericks. 6:22 left to go in our fourth quarter, but I tell you what, nobody has left the near sideline where the Eastland Maverick fans, quite a few of them, are still on their feet to root on the Mavs. It's going to be a great rally if they're going to try to pull this one out of the fire. Teeing the ball up for Quanah is going to be Trenton Boyd. Whoever wins this ball game is just 2 victories away from the state championship. High kick. Raiford Rattan with the return at the 5, 10, 15, out to about the 22-yard line, and that's where he's brought down by Quanah. With the tackle, Russell Edwards for the Indians of Coach Jim Wood, and it will be a first down and 10 for Eastland at their own 22-yard line. If you're Coach Ron Sanderson, what are you trying to tell your Mavs with 6:17 left to go in the ball game, Tommy?
Number one, let's don't make any mistakes, no penalties. Get 7 points on the board, hold Quanah, do our best to hold Quanah, and get another 7 points on the board, and then we've got to go for 2.
Let's see if that's the scenario. Montgomery in at quarterback. Back to throw, and it's going to be intercepted.
Jim Moncrief.
Jim Moncrief. 4 interceptions now on the night that the Eastland Mavericks have thrown. And the Quanah Indians get the ball at the 42-yard line. Jim Moncrief, I'm sorry, 160-pound senior.
I was just going to say, Philip Montgomery, don't hang your head, bud. Got another year ahead of you?
Well, you know, in Philip's defense, you know, with 6:17 left to go in the ball game, you're going to have to throw the ball so you can start playing that pass. And Quanah comes up with the interception, their 4th of the night. The other 3 picked off by Jeff Knight from his safety position. Cornerback Jim Moncrief with that pickoff. Knight in the ball game at quarterback for Quanah. Handoff. This is Williams. We've seen this play a lot tonight. He's going to be pushed out of bounds in the vicinity of the 34-yard line of the Eastland Mavericks.
Pushed out of bounds that time by John Morris.
And Williams is hurt along the near sideline. Williams is hurt along the near sideline. And let's hope it's not a serious injury as he's being attended to. Right there is in front of our KTAB camera that you saw just a few moments ago. 6:04 left to go in the fourth quarter. Quanah leading our ball game 28-14. Williams has been an integral part of this offense tonight for Quanah as he has taken some of the heat off of Setrick Dickens. And we've also got another injured player on the field for Quanah at about the 35-yard line. That is Trenton Boyd, who's receiving attention on the field. And we've got an injured Indian along the near sideline. So as they are attending to all these players, let's just keep it here at the stadium. 6:04 left to go in our ball game as we've got 2 players on the field injured for the Quanah Indians. We've got Williams along the near sideline, and at about the 35-yard line, that is Trenton Boyd receiving medical attention. And those have been 2 key players tonight. Dickens, of course, has done a lot for Quanah, but you got to have a supporting cast, and Williams, out of that counter play, has done very well tonight for these Quanah Indians.
It's been a great play for them, and that's the 3rd time they run it. It got big yardage every time.
Well, they're looking at the legs of both these players. Of course, we'd hate to try to hazard a guess on what the injury could be. And let's hope it's not serious as they're receiving attention. Of course, Quanah leading in our ball game 28-14 at this juncture. You've got a long timeout like this. How much does this affect maybe the momentum of a ball game?
Well, it's definitely got to affect Quanah a little bit because they lost the offensive lineman, and Williams is now up moving around, but Boyd looks like he's down with a knee also, a twisted knee.
Well, Williams is moving underneath his own power. Hopefully it's not a serious injury. Of course, leading 28-14. They might decide at this point just to let him take a rest. And Trenton Boyd is still being attended to. Looks like some of the Quanah Indians are going to come over and help their teammates off the field so they won't aggravate an injury. I've seen that happen before where somebody tries to be a hero and move off the field underneath their own power and wind up aggravating what was already a bad injury.
That's a very good point. And, you know, a lot of times they tell the players the coaches and the trainers say, look, stay down. Don't, if you're hurt, don't get up and move and risk further injury to yourself.
Well, Williams is moving off the field, but we've still got Trenton Boyd down at the 35-yard line. We've got 6:04 left to go in our ball game. Williams, 6 carries for 79 yards. And so that shows you when I say that he's helped take some of the heat off Setrick Dickens. You know, you can key too much on one player, and that has allowed Williams to be spring loose tonight for 79 yards of offense carrying that ball. I think the quarterback has Jeff Knight 1 of 5 last time we saw figures for 15 yards, and now Trenton Boyd is moving, and that gets a nice round of applause from the Quanah fans over on the far side of the field. Whereas Quanah likes coming to play here at Shotwell Stadium, Eastland, of course, likes to come here and play as well. Eastland having scored playoff victories this year over Anson and Stanton at this facility in the bi-district and then the area rounds. And then these Quanah Indians have scored playoff victories over Idalou and then last week over De Leon using this facility. And now Trenton Boyd is being helped off the field as well. So both players are okay, we hope. Hopefully it's not a serious injury.
Boyd, an integral part of the Quanah Indians. He's lineman, kicker, kicks off for them and does a very good job blocking for them.
So we're just a few moments away from getting this game resumed. When we come back, it will be 2nd down and just over 2 needed for the 1st down for the Quanah Indians. Pickup of 8 yards on that last carry. And the line of scrimmage is the 34-yard line of the Eastland Mavericks. One thing Quanah has been able to do is pretty well keep Chad Gosnell out of the limelight. Of course, you know, he was so dominating in those victories over Anson, Stanton, and of course last week Maverick defense rang a shutout against the ball club from West Texas High School. But tonight, the Quanah Indians leading 28-14. This handoff is going to go to Dickens. Finally brought down on the tackle. That's going to be for the Eastland Mavericks.
Petrie and Rattan.
Petrie and Rattan. And that's going to be enough for the 1st down for the Quanah Indians inside the 25-yard line of Eastland. The clock is going to start rolling again with under 6 minutes left to go in our ball game. Eastland at one point had just tied the ball game up at 14-14 at the end of the 3rd quarter, but here in the 4th quarter, the Indians have put 2 touchdowns on the scoreboard to lead 28-14. Pitch back goes to Dickens, and he's going to be down at about the 22-yard line. Adamez in on the tackle along with Brian Orms for the Eastland Mavericks.
Brian Orms and Adamez did a good job of closing in from the outside, forcing it inside to Orms, and then making a tackle.
Petrie back into the ball game defensively, taking the place of Messenger for the Eastland Mavericks of Coach Ron Sanderson. Coach Ron Sanderson in his first year at Eastland, having come to Eastland from Gunter in North Texas. Sanderson replaced Ronnie Hughes as the head coach of these Mavericks. Pick up a 3 on that last carry. 2nd down and 7 for the Indians at about the 22-yard line of the Eastland Mavericks. 28-14, the Indians leading the ball game. Pitch back goes to Dickens. 15, 10, 5. It's going to be another touchdown for Setrick Dickens. Setrick Dickens, a one-man show tonight for these Quanah Indians. 5 touchdowns on the night for the 175-pound senior.
David, prior to this game, the finest running back we thought we saw all year was Kenneth Norman from Sweetwater. I think this Setrick Dickens can give him a run for his money.
Remember that Luster youngster from
oh boy, I forgot about him.
Duncanville?
I forgot about him.
22-yard touchdown run by Dickens. For Setrick Dickens, he's had a 1-yard touchdown run, a 3-yard touchdown run, a 16-yard touchdown run, a 44-yarder, a 22-yarder, and he's just kicked his 5th PAT of the night. So with 4:48 left to go here in our ball game, our new score, the Quanah Indians 35, the Eastland Mavericks 14. We'll keep it here at the stadium. 4:48 left to go here in the ball game. A 42-yard drive, 4 plays. Dickens on the night, 40 carries for 279 yards. for these Quanah Indians, as right now they appear headed to the state semifinals against either McGregor or Salina in the state Class 2A football playoffs. Still a great season for the Eastland Mavericks. A junior-dominated ball club. A lot of these kids are going to be back next year, though.
The fans have got so much to look forward to in the juniors, and of course the seniors have obviously supplied lots of leadership to this team, and they're going to miss Raiford, Rattan, and some of the other seniors on this squad. But boy, what a great future ahead of the Eastland Mavericks.
One of the disappointed fans for the Eastland Mavericks. They haven't given up hope, but with 4:48 left to go in the ball game, they're trailing by 21 points.
Never say die.
That's right. You know, strange things have happened. We've seen a lot of screwball things happen. 4:48 left to go in our ball game. The Quanah Indians leading the Eastland Mavericks 35-14. One thing that's really hurt Eastland out here tonight, 4 interceptions, is that we're going to have another short kickoff. It's going to be covered at the 32-yard line. Let's see, Quanah's got it. One of the Eastland Mavericks touched the ball thinking it might go out of bounds. Instead, it just stays on the playing field, and Quanah comes up with the ball at the 32-yard line of the Eastland Mavericks.
Sanderson and Farmer just could not get a handle on it, and Quanah heads up as on a kick, a poorly kicked football wound up being in the hands of a Quanah Indian.
Well, you know, on the last kickoff, it went out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. It had a similar spin on it. Some of the Eastland players thinking it might go out of bounds, but it just died on the playing field. Quanah alertly falls on it. And, you know, 5 turnovers already in this ball game for Eastland have resulted in 21 points on the scoreboard for the Quanah Indians.
Margin of victory.
Jeff Knight still has the ball, is going to throw, and is going to be caught with the catch. Chris Milliken. Milliken, who had 2 catches for 27 yards last week versus De Leon, and he's got the ball down to the 23-yard line of Eastland as we've got 4.5 minutes left to go here in our ball game.
That was a big league catch by Milliken that time,
and
he got a big hit by Rattan.
What a fourth quarter by these Quanah Indians, Tommy. They have scored 3 touchdowns, and now they've got a 2nd down and 1 at the 23-yard line of Eastland. And all 35 points in this ball game have been scored by Setrick Dickens, 5 touchdown runs and 5 successful PAT kicks. Knight hands off to Sanchez, and the big fullback barrels his way down to about the 16-yard line of Eastland, and that will be enough for the first down for the Quanah Indians.
Poppy Escobedo there on your screen, the future star running back on my call, David, for the Eastland Mavericks.
You know, he played so well a couple of weeks ago here at Shotwell in the 20-6 victory over the Stanton Buffaloes that we saw. Milliken back into the ball game, number 24 there for the Quanah Indians. He was the youngster who made that 9-yard pass reception just the play before last. Jeff Knight still in at quarterback, big number 10. He's a tall, rangy youngster. Pitch back goes to Setrick Dickens. Cuts upfield at the 10, to the 5, and he's in for another touchdown.
Phenomenal running back. He knows where the end zone is.
And it seems like his last 3 touchdowns have been down there in about that exact same corner of the end zone.
The Eastland Mavericks defense has been on the field the entire second half, and they're getting tired. I mean, what else can you say?
That is 6 touchdowns in this ball game by Setrick Dickens, and the Quanah coaching staff next door is packing up their headsets, about ready to head downstairs with 3:28 left to go here in our ball game.
David Robinette is fixing to give us a statistic as how many plays Quanah has run the second half as opposed to the Eastland Mavericks.
Poor snap, and the kick is blocked. The kick is blocked, so score will remain 41-14 in favor of the Quanah Indians. The PAT is no good, but what a night by Setrick Dickens. He has run 6 touchdowns And like we were going over that count, that was a 3-play, 32-yard drive just in for the Quanah Indians, set up by the fumble of the kickoff by the Eastland Mavericks. I say fumble, really they failed to cover the ball basically at the 32-yard line, and Quanah makes it 28 points that they put on the scoreboard thanks to mistakes by the Eastland Mavericks.
Big stat there, Dave.
Number of plays, is that the number of plays in this half?
Yes.
In this half, the Eastland Mavericks have run 16 plays, the Quanah Indians 34 plays. Oof. And it was a tight ball game. At the end of 3 quarters, it was 14-14, and Quanah has just simply exploded here in the 4th quarter. They have rung up 27 points on the scoreboard, and we've still got 3:28 left to go. And we've got a new youngster in the ball game kicking off. Trenton Boyd had been doing those kickoff chores, but he is not in there now for the Quanah Indians. He had to go out with that injury.
Tony Jalamo was kicking.
Okay. High kick taken by Rattan. 15, 20, 25, 30. Still going to the 35 to about the 36-yard line, and that's where he's going to be brought down. So Eastland gets the ball back at their own 37-yard line. Chris Milliken with the tackle for the Quanah Indians. So the Mavs get the ball back. 3:21 left to go here in our 4th quarter of play. Other than a blocked field goal and a blocked PAT, everything else has gone very well tonight for Setrick Dickens for the Quanah Indians. Montgomery still in at quarterback. Option play, pitch back goes to Raiford Rattan. And they're going to rule that he's down at the 44-yard line. That's a gain of about 6, maybe 7 yards on the carry. Chris Milliken with the tackle for these Quanah Indians as we're approaching the 3-minute mark of our ball game. And there he is, Setrick Dickens.
We'll see him again someday.
Could be for Oklahoma State if the recruiting wars are won by the Cowboys for that youngster. Coming into this ball game, he had more than 23 yards of rushing, and he's got to be approaching 300 yards at this point for the game. Montgomery fumbles the ball. It's on the ground at the 42-yard line, and it's recovered by the Quanah Indians.
Covered by number 70, J.B. Duncan, 220-pound senior.
And my heart goes out to Philip Montgomery, who's been so good, such an effective quarterback this year, and he just picked the wrong night to be just a little bit off against a very fine Quanah ball club.
Exactly. I think he's got everything in the world to look forward to. Just one game does not make a season or a career for that boy, and I'm telling you right now, they're going to be glad they've got him next year when they tee it up in August.
He is only a junior, 5'10", 160-pound junior, trying to scramble with the ball, trying to make something happen here in the dying moments of our ball game, only to lose the ball, and Quanah gets it back. And we've got a new quarterback in the ball game, Michael Jackson, a junior, in for the Quanah Indians. Dickens, 41 carries for 297 yards tonight, and he has scored 6 touchdowns.
We have a dead ball. Delay, number 11.
If Dickens can get just 3 more yards, he'll have 300 yards in our ball game, and he's already got more than 2,600 yards of rushing on the season. 44 touchdowns he has scored this year, 40 of them rushing the ball. What an incredible talent for these Quanah Indians. Jackson in at quarterback, fumbles the snap from center. Jeff Bird is on top of Jackson immediately, and it will bring up a second down and about 17 situation. The line of scrimmage back to the 47-yard line of the Eastland Mavericks as the clock is rolling with 2:22 left to go in our ball game.
Wholesale substitution by the Quanah Indians. We've talked in the past, about the Permian Panthers, the skill that their players have. Well, they get to practice a lot more than everybody else does because of the length of their season. And the Eastland Mavericks and the Quanah Indians are getting the same experience.
Well, for Eastland, this is the 7th time in the last 8 years they've been in the playoffs as Chad Gosnell slows down the ball carrier just in time to allow Brian Orms to come up to make the tackle. And back at about the 50-yard line, loss on the play for the Quanah Indians, and it will bring up a 3rd and about 18 situation now as the clock is rolling with 1:43 left to go in our ball game. 3rd and 18 for Quanah now. For the Eastland Mavericks, they'll finish up the year 10-3-1. Quanah, who last week beat De Leon here at Shotwell Stadium, they beat another team from the same district tonight. Quanah stays alive in the state playoffs, now with a record of 11-2. As the handoff goes to the ball carrier for the for the Quanah Indians, Joe Reisinger, and he's tackled behind the line of scrimmage with the tackle Brian Orms along with Jay Clark. But there is a flag down on the play, stopping the clock with 1:16 left to go in our 4th quarter. Quanah leading the ball game 41-14.
Major, on the offense, it is declined. It will be 4th down.
4th down, and Quanah will have to punt the ball away. Philip Montgomery back deep to receive now for the Eastland Mavericks, standing back at about his own 17-yard line. And the kick is blocked.
Raiford Rattan blocks it, and Jay Clark, I think, covered it. Brian Orms has got the ball running downfield.
He could score for the Eastland Mavericks.
Penalty, David.
But there's a flag down to hold everything. There is a flag down on the play at the 40-yard line. If the play is allowed to stand, Brian Orms would have the touchdown. Nice job of play-by-play there.
David, I think they're saying that Jay Clark threw the ball maybe to Brian Orms. I think that's what happened.
Trying to make something happen with less than a minute left to go in our ball game.
Oh, man.
Well, you know, they've done so well. They've blocked the PAT.
They're illegally handing the ball forward.
Okay, handing the ball. Good pass, Jay.
Over there.
Over there, okay.
Yeah.
Well, Eastland gets the ball back. But, you know, think about their specialty teams play, especially in the playoffs so far this year. They've blocked a field goal, a PAT. They've blocked a punt in this ball game. That's only the 2nd time in this ball game that Quanah has had to punt the ball. And remember the success their specialty teams had in setting up that victory over the Stanton Buffaloes earlier this playoff season. Raiford Rattan with the block. So they're going to spot the ball down at the 46-yard line of the Quanah Indians. Eastland gets the ball back.
An illegal forward hand.
One more try for the Eastland Mavericks, trailing 41-14 in our ball game. You're going to look at the score and you think, what a rout. But it was a rout only in the 4th quarter as the conditioning maybe of these Quanah Indians took over. You know, last week, Quanah allowed De Leon only 5 yards of total offense in the 4th quarter as the pass is complete, middle screen to Raiford Rattan. He's got the 1st down to about the 32-yard line of the Quanah Indians.
Great block that time by Brian Orms on that screen, set up that extra 6 or 7 yards that Raiford got.
Mavs going without the huddle here. Once the downs markers are in place, they'll start the clock again. 46 seconds up there on the clock right now. Montgomery in at quarterback. Back to throw. Wants to go long, downfield to Vernon. Vernon has got it for the touchdown.
What a throw and catch.
Chris Vernon with his 2nd touchdown of the playoffs. He had a touchdown catch versus Anson in the bi-district round of the playoffs. And so, with 37 seconds left to go here in the 4th quarter, the Eastland Mavericks are back on the scoreboard thanks to a beautiful pass thrown by Philip Montgomery. That would be a good way for the youngster to end his season after having some, 4 interceptions he threw earlier in this ball game. 2-play, 46-yard drive as the Eastland Mavericks strike on a long bomb in the final seconds of our ball game from Philip Montgomery to Chris Vernon. And to attempt the extra point is Williamson, and the kick is good. Our new score in the ball game, 41-21. But that takes none of the hurt away for Chris Vernon, as you see him right there, as his Eastland Mavericks are still trailing in the ball game by 20 points despite a fine over-the-shoulder catch for the touchdown for the Eastland Mavericks. 2-play, 46-yard drive just then for the Eastland Mavericks. as Chris Vernon with his second touchdown catch of the state high school football playoffs. For these Quanah Indians, their spot in the state semifinals pretty well secured, as they'll meet either McGregor or Salina next week in the state semifinals. But hats off to this Eastland Maverick Ball Club. I have a feeling we'll see him back here at Shotwell Stadium in the state playoffs again next year, Tommy.
I think if I had any money, I'd bet that Eastland will be back.
And as much success as they've had at Shotwell Stadium in the opening round of the state playoffs this year, they'll probably want to schedule some more ball games here for 1989. Williamson has got the ball teed up at the 40-yard line now for Eastland, trailing by 20 points in our ball game. Eastland, who suffered a loss to De Leon in the final game of the season, but then the Mavs came on strong with wins over Anson, Stanton, and then West Texas High before stubbing their toe here tonight in the quarterfinal round of the playoffs. Onside kick is going to be covered by Quanah at their own 45-yard line. So the Indians get the ball back at their own 45-yard line, successfully covering the onside kick try by the Eastland Mavericks. With 37 seconds left, Ben Cohen there with the tackle for the Eastland Mavericks.
You know, something else about it, it's going to lay such a great foundation for Eastland is these young kids that are here watching this ball game and then seeing the success and the excitement of all the hoopla that goes with this playoff that Eastland has been in. They're going to just ache and can't wait to play football for the Eastland Mavericks because they want to be on TV and they want to share in some of that success that the older boys have had.
You're exactly right. And they'll know the price that these youngsters had to pay to get this far into the state playoffs, so they'll be aware of what it takes to reach this level of football, and that makes it just a little bit easier to continue this kind of success in the future.
And they'll be willing to pay that price, and it's going to make it easier for the coaches to coach these kids because they want to succeed and they see the success. Look at the letter jackets out here in the audience. I mean, they've got patches, state patches all over their letter jackets, and they're proud to wear them, and it means a lot. I love to see that.
We've got 7, 6. Let's listen to the Quanah fans count it off. And that's the end of the ball game. Our final score at P.E. Shotwell Stadium, the Quanah Indians advance on to the state semifinals with a 41-21 victory tonight over the Eastland Mavericks. Really a case of too much Setrick Dickens. 6 touchdowns on the ground that he scored tonight for these Quanah Indians as they advance on into the state high school football playoffs with a record of 11-2. Eastland finishes 1988 with a final record of 10-3-1 for first-year coach Ron Sanderson. A highly successful season for these Eastland Mavericks to reach this level of the state high school football playoffs. They reached a level only 8 other clubs were able to attain for 1988. Tommy and I will be back in just a moment to wrap this ball game up on KTAB when Football 88 continues.
You'd think a duplexing copier with the widest zoom range for its price, one with a sorter and document feeder, would have to be pretty big. Think again. The Minolta 415Z. You could say they met at the office, and now that they've been together for so long, we thought they should be married. The Minolta 251, the wedding of the copier, the telephone, and the fax.
Call the Stephen Company, this area's authorized Minolta dealer.
BC Construction, owned and operated by Bob Carroll, has been serving Eastland County for over 30 years. BC Construction has the heavy equipment to do the job, like road construction or general oil field construction. And BC Construction is fully insured and bonded with qualified personnel for any size job. BC Construction is also an enthusiastic supporter of the Eastland Mavericks and wish the red and black best of luck. For all of your construction needs, call BC Construction, supporting the Eastland Mavericks. For the right parts and everything else, make your first stop at Magnum's Parts Plus in Eastland. At Magnum's Auto Parts, you'll find a wide selection to choose from. And if we don't have it in stock, you can't believe how fast we can get it. And Magnum's Auto Parts is Eastland County's dealer for the Parts Plus franchise for even better selection. When you need auto parts, get the right parts from Magnum's Parts Plus in Eastland, next to the Sonic on Highway 80 East. Eastland's new dealer for Parts Plus is Magnum's. We're leading the way to state for Eastland and the future farmers of America. The Eastland High School chapter of Future Farmers wishes best of luck to the Mavericks. The future farmers of Eastland have led the way with excellence, hard work, and determination. That hard work and determination has had its rewards for the Eastland High School chapter and will continue to do so at the state meet in Huntsville. So our team is behind the Mavericks because we know what it takes to win. From one winner to another, go Mavs, from the future farmers of Eastland High School.
There's Ron Sanderson, who's just seen his Eastland Mavericks lose tonight to the ball club from Quanah, 41-21. I know it sounds hollow to say congratulations for a fine season after losing by 20 points, but still, he had a young ball club that did very well in the state playoffs, and the foundation that is laid for future seasons by the success they enjoyed in the first 3 weeks of the state high school football playoffs could play such big dividends later on.
If this was a senior-laden football team, and it would have a real bitter taste to it, David, but good grief, there's so many young kids and so many talented young kids for Eastland that are going to be back next year and going to perform even better than they did this year because they've had this year of experience, and they're going to come back with more confidence, and they're going to, I can't see any, I'd hate to be in their district and know that this talent's coming back, and the ride home is still going to be sweet because they've been so successful. Raiford Rattan's going to be gone, but they've got Poppy Escobedo, I think, to come in and take his place. They've got that huge offensive line with Arms and Clark, and defensively they got Gosnell and Petrie, and Sanderson will be back for 2 more years, and all the other young kids, and no telling what they've got coming up from that's going to be sophomores and juniors next year that's going to pop up and shine like these kids have. Coach Sanderson, you've done a whale of a job with a young ball club. You've got them to the quarterfinal round. Be proud. Philip Montgomery, be proud of yourself, partner, because you played great. You got your team to this point. You showed a lot of leadership. Some of those pass interceptions were, they're interceptions, but you were throwing the ball up, trying to make something happen. And good grief, a good defensive back intercepted you. Nothing to be ashamed of. And Gosnell, I can't wait to see you next year and see what kind of player you're going to be. Get your grades, make good grades, because you're going to be able to go just practically anywhere you want to go to school. Brian Arms, you're going to be a player. Jay Clark, you're going to be a player that everybody's going to want to come see play and want you to play for them. Good grief, make your grades, lift those weights, and the good things are going to happen.
Okay. We'd like to say a great big thank you from up here in the booth to the people who've made the sights and sounds of Football 88 possible here on KTAB. People like Leland Olhausen, Steve Hill, Keith Johnson, Wayne Roy, Kenny Gregg, Mike Classbull, Scooter Rolfs, and, of course, our statistician Dave Robinette. On behalf of those fine folks from KTAB, our color commentator Tommy Humphrey, it's been great working with you again this season. This is David Bacon saying so long from P.E. Shotwell Stadium, reminding you of our final score one more time. Quanah 41, the Eastland Mavericks 21, Football 88 on KTAB. Thank you very much for watching this state playoff ball game. Good night, everybody.
KTAB TV, Abilene.